All right, guys, we are live. Oh man, avatar thing ain't working. What up, y'all? Oh, there it is. Hey, all right, we're live. What is up? How you doing? We are. I think we're ready for sheesh, monstrous fucking week of stuff. But first of all, we got the homies in the voice chat with us as always for another episode. We got Cosmic Kaiser.
Kiss my ass.
We got, of course, the homie Despair. That's how we all feeling right now. And we got Folly of Dreams.
Sup?
I know Folly's particularly hurting, especially like considering the amount of depth we're all about to go into purchasing all of the games that Nintendo went through today. I think we just skip all the pleasantries and just go straight into biz.
Can we just talk? I thought about this earlier, and I just wanted to see if I'm the only one. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks this way. But like, I say this every time. Like 10 years ago, right? Some of this stuff, I feel like I couldn't even imagine existing. Like, obviously, you know, here and there, like every other year or every year, we get like I'd get like one cool game, right? I'd be like, yeah, man. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out next year. What the fuck else? I don't care about anything else. Devil May. Actually, no. This is a bad example because Kingdom Hearts 3, Devil May Cry 5, and all these other games came out in the same year. But I feel like these games never came out so close to each other before. Like, I don't feel like this never happened. Like, I remember I used like one game would come out in like the spring, one game would come out in like the summer, right? Of course, you'd have like the fall would be like that time of the year where a bunch of shit would drop. But I don't think it was ever this much, bro. Like,
over this saturated, like the market definitely seems oversaturated right now. But I mean, we're
I was mad.
Love it.
Like I was mad because I was like, bro, where the fuck am I gonna find the time, right? But then I thought about it and I was like, let me not even say anything like that because let me just appreciate the fact that I live in a time where video games are this like at this stage where we could get all this shit, right? We know it's all gonna sell well, right? Like, and it's like, damn. This is crazy to me because I feel like, first of all, we're gonna get into the direct, right? But Nintendo specifically, I feel like this is their last hurrah for the Switch One. That's what I feel like it is. That's what it feels like it is to me. They're dumping out all this shit, bro. Why? Like they're dumping out everything, and it's like, well, let's get all this shit out the way now, so that when the Switch 2 drops, we can have what? Metroid. They're probably gonna have the new 3D Mario game. Probably a new Mario Kart. I doubt we're gonna see Smash for a while, but like, damn. I think that's actually no. I think we might get a Smash like how they did Mario Kart. We might get like a updated like a graphical update or like, you know, whatever shit for the Switch 2. But man, can we just talk about how much shit is dropping between? Well, it already started back in like August. Actually, it started in like June. Like the fuck? Oh no.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it because I don't know. Anyone checked out my stream earlier, but I was just cursing up a storm of the amount of games dropping even 2 weeks from now to like
even
a month
3 days
from now.
Like, bro, MK just dropped
today.
We just had what? A Payday drops next week. Lies of P drops next week. Sonic Frontier shit drops probably what, the week after maybe? That's the
Party Animals.
Party Animals is next week. Jeez, dude, I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
Fuck.
Like, oh yeah, the Resident Evil 4 stuff. I'm not even thinking about that because I can't. The Cyberpunk DLC, like, come on, bro. What's happening? Like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. Like,
losing my mind.
And then there's a bunch of other like little random smaller things that interested me during the direct. Where I'm like, cool, I want to play that, but like, do I have time to play everything else? No, what the fuck? Like, this is why I don't finish shit because there's too much shit. My ADD won't let me fucking play like one thing. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, the older I get, the worse it gets for me. Maybe I need like medication or something. But like, bro, I literally cannot sit and focus on one game for like 50, 60 hours at once like I used to. That's just too much shit. I used to be able to buy one game, beat that shit, play that shit for like hundreds of hours and without playing other shit, and then just dropping it, moving to the next thing. Can't do that shit no more. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like,
One of the bigger titles of the direct actually was this Mario and Donkey Kong game. Man,
oh yeah, the remake.
that
Yeah,
yo
it's a
that
remake
that
of the was
that
it
for
Game
me,
Boy? It was Game Boy, right?
yeah, Game Boy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, originally it's arcade game, but whatever. But like the one that I played was like a Game Boy game, and it had like hundreds of levels of like the Donkey Kong basically formula. But like, and this game is like totally down my alley, and I'm just like, well, that's a must buy. This is a must buy. Everything is a must buy.
Yeah,
I think I
played the
kept track
DS.
of how much money I'm spending.
Yeah, I think I was there one on DS? Yeah, I'm sure there was one. I think I
Yeah,
played
yeah,
the one on DS.
There's one on GBA. There was one on DS.
Yeah,
I think
those
they
games are
released
cool.
one like, yeah. So it's definitely like something that's like, man, it's really. This was like, let's have followed by all the games.
I was I
Yo,
definitely
Detective Pikachu looks fire. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm buying. I gotta get that.
I'm buying it.
You know what's funny, bro? We were just in here talking about this the other day, right? The original Tomb Raider games, like
Oh
the
my
original
God,
Lara.
yes,
Bro. When
And
I
they
saw that
just-
shit, I was like, what the fuck? We literally just spoke about this shit. We were like, how I hope they go back to like the original Laura, blah blah blah. And then they remake 1 through 3, and I'm like, yes, I need to play those.
Oh my
I
God,
feel like
yes.
that's alluding to something coming down the pipeline.
Probably that, and the fact that they just put her original model in fucking COD, whatever.
In COD, yeah,
Like-
yeah, they're definitely pimping out Lara Croft right now.
Who owns Lara Croft right now? Like, I don't even
That
know
is
who
an
owns-
Eidos property.
Yeah, I
Well,
forgot.
Eidos,
wasn't
they sold off?
Yeah, wasn't
Yes,
it part of
Square
that
Enix,
whole?
and then what happened after
So
that?
I don't know.
Let's
Yeah, I don't know who actually owns the
see.
property now, but when I was looking at the Tomb Raider remaster, I think that's great because I think it is a good refresh to bring back those games. But if I remember, those controls,
Those games were not
those
easy.
controls are gonna need a rework because that shit was
I'm
brutal.
sure they.
That shit was actually, if you go
I'm
back
sure
and
they
play those
will.
games, that shit is
Look,
brutal.
Okay, so those games actually are tank controls. Believe
Yeah.
it or not.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Yes,
So
they're
if
gr-
you're
great games,
didn't grow
great
up,
games.
if you're a new kid and you wanted to know how it was back in the day, I encourage you. Please buy those games.
Listen,
And,
I'm gonna tell you this. Those games sucked. sorry, guys. Those games
I
were
think
actually
I think they
trash.
were
I
like,
enjoyed them.
Those games
Dude,
were not good.
I think they're
really
enjoyable.
enjoyed you.
I
think
enjoyed the fuck
they-
out of them. Everyone did, but
for what they
not
were.
good. They were
I
not
think
good.
I think they brought about like that whole
They were
like third
great
person
games at the
action adventure
time.
genre. Yeah,
because we didn't have anything like that.
no,
But those games were trash.
yeah, I blame mostly the controls.
Like, we
I
never
mean,
saw.
but those
we
games
never
definitely
saw
have
big
some
ass
bullshit.
polygonal fucking. You know what I'm gonna say.
Everybody was in it for the pixel tits. We all know
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Like,
Oh, I mean,
We
I'm
wanted to
always
see the
about-
polygons. It was all about.
everyone. Look, everyone in my class the next day knew the tech. You just put her up against the wall and turn the camera around. Boom. That was it. Sorry.
It was
I
all
mean,
about the rumored nude mod and the polygon
so
with
stupid,
the
bro.
game genie. Remember they
nah,
said if
Tomb
it
Raider
had a
3
game
Tomb Raider 3
genie, you
was
could do
good.
it.
Tomb Raider
Right.
3 was good.
One is the only
Oh,
one
two
I
was
can't
good
really
too.
play. Yeah,
Two
two
was
was
good
good too. It's 2 and 3 were good.
That
One
game
is
was ass.
well,
but anyway,
and also it was hard too. It wasn't
yeah, it was.
just
I mean, all of them were
ass.
hard. Yeah, all of them just was hard.
All of them are
Yeah.
hard. 2 is probably the easiest out of all of them, but god damn.
There was
Yeah,
one they remade for
is-
They were
Dreamcast that was
so
all right.
sick. Probably
It's
3.
probably some separate one.
Yeah, I mean, like that was kind of like out of nowhere, but it's something that was pretty cool.
I
It's,
definitely
Oh.
want to play those.
You know what's out of nowhere? The freaking Spy X Anya one that I
Yeah,
did.
Yeah,
Spy
it was
X.
so random, bro. I was like, oh shit, that shit looks hella cute.
Yo,
Oh,
that
what the
got me.
fuck?
I was just like, oh man. It's like I was like, oh yeah, I want to get this, and then I was like, what? Would I
Bruh.
actually play this? Like,
That fucking Princess Peach game looks godlike.
yes, it
like
actually looks.
I did not expect. Like when they obviously, it's she got to do her own thing or whatever. But when they showed that first trailer, I was like, that's probably just gonna be like another platform or some random shit, right?
mhm.
That game looks so unique. Like I'm
Yeah.
glad that she has her own style of game. Like it doesn't look like any of their other games. That shit looks fire to me. She's over here transforming and shit. I'm like, bro, they better update her moveset for the next Smash game. Have her transforming and shit like that in the next Smash game because that shit was dope. I was like, this looks unique as hell. I'm definitely buying that. That right there for me. That was like the coolest thing for me.
Yeah, I think that was a really cool thing to show off, because I think like Super Princess Peach, it was just more so like the gameplay was tailored around what was it like? It was like the little radishes that she could pull out, and you just tap it on the screen, and it gives her different powers. So I was like, I knew it would be something
she would just
in
cry
that
and
way.
shit and get random stuff, but technically it was still a platformer. This looks like there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's a good way to give her own game and have it have a completely different feel compared to anything else.
The fucking 1,000-Year Door remake was confirmed. Like that shit, I've been waiting for. That's just been rumored for so long now, and it's like I knew it was coming eventually, because usually Nintendo rumors end up coming true anyway. But that shit, best Paper Mario game. If you haven't played that shit, something wrong with you. But that shit's cool.
I played Paper Mario, and then all of a sudden, this was the stream where they just want to drop all the detective games, right?
Yeah, right.
They just
and they had a lot of like
tactical RPGs.
Yeah, like I don't know what's going on. With
definitely
this age like,
wave of detective games or point and click adventures and tac RPGs.
I don't know what's happening, but please, like whoever's making these decisions, please keep doing it, because what the fuck?
Yes,
like
it's a Baldur's Gate 3 effect.
I don't think so, because they've been doing this for the past 3, maybe 2.5 years.
Hold up, like, though low key, there was like one kind of like something like Baldur's Gate. It was like, hey, we got something exclusive of ours. I was like, come on, bro, it's not Baldur's Gate.
War Tales, I think it was called.
Yeah, it was one of them. And I was just like it was the one like not nearly as impressive. I'm like, come on, bro.
It was like it's a Switch owner saying, "Mommy, I want Baldur's Gate 3." And it's like we got Baldur's Gate 3 at home.
Baldur's Gate at home. Yeah.
I mean, it still look cool though. I might want to try it. Actually,
new Saga game. What was that Vanillaware game that they announced? Like, bro, there's a
I
lot
think
of
it
stuff.
was it called Saga
Unicorn,
Emerald Beyond.
Unicorn
Oh no, it was
Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord. Yeah.
Yes.
Bro,
That shit looked.
Vanillaware
artwork
games
on that
are
was
all
really
phenomenal.
I was impressed by the artwork.
I think a lot of their games
Vanillaware is always really good.
Yeah, those games are ridiculous.
Yeah, they did Odin Sphere. They did there was a Dragon's
Crown.
Was that
it was
Vanillaware?
Dragon's. Yeah, it was Dragon's Crown. What was the one after that? The 13 Sentinels.
Yes, 13 Sentinels.
What was the one? What was the game that was on the Wii and it got ported to the Vita? What was that game?
Muramasa Demon Blade.
That shit was fire. Yeah. That game. I think that was the first game I played, and I went and I got the Odin Sphere remaster, whatever. All their games are amazing. Like,
oh yeah.
Is Dragon's Crown on PC? Probably not, right?
I believe so. Let me
maybe it might be
on
Dragon's Crown. I think
Crown.
so.
Nah, no way.
I don't know.
No, it is not.
No, it's PC3
only
PS4, right? It's on PS4. I know that too.
PS3. I thought it was PS3.
It was Vita PS3, and it got ported to.
I think
PS4.
they have a PS4. Port,
yeah, there was an upgraded version on PS.
upgraded,
Dragon's Crown Pro.
Yeah.
It was an HD port.
Yeah.
I played some of that. Yeah.
You know what game I'm actually looking forward to? Let me find the name of it. It was
all of them.
Yo, Star Ocean 2 remake demo is out right now. Download that shit, because that shit is fire.
I think.
I'll check it out in a little bit. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes.
Yeah, that game too. Like,
because that one is kind of based on. I don't know if you guys ever played Sudoku, but like the same creators are basically making that game. And to me, Sudoku 2 was one of the best RPGs I ever played in my life. That was a crazy experience. So
I mean, yeah,
Eiyuden
Chronicles been around for a while.
Yeah. I always hear good things about those games.
That and there was, what the fuck? What was the fucking game?
You gotta give me a hint.
I don't remember. Hold on, I got the list.
What was the fucking shit?
Oh my gosh, shout out to that Among Us shit. Anyway, WarioWare, that shit. It's like they're checking off all the boxes right now.
Yeah,
right?
they are.
Yeah.
Luigi's
Oh,
Mansion 2
Contra!
HD. Yeah,
Contra!
Oh yeah,
cool.
Operation Galaga. It's a fucking like
It's-
sort of reimagining of the first game.
I really feel like, as Despair said, it's just like they're just getting all the games that were in development out
Yeah.
that are not going to be on Switch 2, or maybe they'll be ported over. Who knows? But these are the ones that are just like Prime for Switch, get them out now before we announce Switch 2.
You know,
So you can, because if not, people are not going to buy these shits.
part of me is like, is there backwards compatibility for them
Yeah,
to
there
release
has
all
to
these
be.
There
games?
has to be.
I mean,
There
it
has to
already,
be.
right?
I'm pretty sure like the majority of these leaks have been true, and all
They,
of them,
they'd be
all of them
making a
have said,
severe mistake if it's
Yeah.
not backwards compatible.
all of the
Severe
leaks have
mistake.
said that it's backwards
For sure.
compatible. Then the new, what is it? Are they still using fucking Tegra chips for fucking shit? Probably, right? So I don't see why it wouldn't be backwards compatible. What's the shit that they're using, that they're supposed to be using? The Tegra. Hold on. Anyway, like I'm pretty sure it will be fucking backwards compatible. There's no fucking way, bro. There's no way in fuck. Like, yeah, Nintendo would be the ones to do that, but I don't think right now. I don't think they're in the
There is a part of me that feel like they want us all to triple dip. So I don't know.
I don't think so, because they spent the majority of the Switch life cycle reporting games from the Wii U. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't feel like that would make sense to happen
I
again.
think they've done their dipping because of their failure with the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Yeah.
they want to bring over this massive audience to their
Yeah,
next
they're still using
console
a Tegra chip
generation. That's what they
for
need
Switch
to do.
2, so there's no reason why it wouldn't be backwards compatible. And every leak so far has said that it is, right?
Because there's going to be a large number of Switch owners that are going to buy the Switch 2 just as an
there's too many
upgrade.
people.
Just
There's
as
too
an
many people
upgrade so
that
they
own
can
a
play their
Switch.
games on the new Switch.
There's too many people that own a Switch. There's too many games on the Switch, period, for it to not be backwards compatible. There's way
Yeah.
too many games on that.
Their
motherfucker.
library is outrageous.
Like, it's probably the biggest library they've had since ever. Like,
I think
like what the
so.
fuck? Like,
Well,
yeah,
the only thing with a
hella
bigger
shit.
library is Steam.
Like, bruh, this whole list of shit they just announced today, or the shit that's coming in the next few months, is more than the GameCube had. Now let me stop. Let me stop.
Yeah.
But
True.
like, damn. Fucking F-Zero. Don't want to talk about that. Fuck you.
That was a hella debate, though. I will.
Um,
It was impressive. I saw the F-Zero.
Impressed
I
how
was
bullshit
like,
it was,
bruh. And then it was
That's
like
putting it
F-Zero
nicely.
99.
Piece of shit, bro.
I mean, it's a nice surprise, but still. Yeah. It's a
Yeah,
hell
was
of
it a
a
nice
debate.
surprise? It was definitely a surprise. I don't know if it was nice. But
True,
whatever.
true.
I mean, you could go ahead and invest it in, and then they'll steal it away from you a year from now.
I'm good. I'm not playing
I
that
heard,
trash.
I heard you guys liked F-Zero. Well, here's
I'm gonna go play F-Zero GX. I'm good.
99.
Blow me.
I mean, I tried it out. I mean,
I will say they
Put it
did
up
show
on
one of the
TV,
games that it is probably the weirdest game that I didn't know that I wanted to play, but now I kind of do. Dave the Diver. Did you guys see
Oh
that?
yeah,
shit?
yeah. I've
It's
seen. I saw hella people playing that game like a few months ago.
Yeah, it's
but
on
I was
PC,
like,
I
what the
think,
fuck
right?
is
Like,
this?
oh,
it's
it's
like
already out.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it's
a
out
like
on
a early access, I think, on Steam.
I saw hella people playing that shit.
Yeah, so it's the game where you play as like a dude who catches fish and then you start selling them as sushi. It's just
Yeah,
so
shit.
weird. It's such a weird game. I feel like I
like
just
watching it. Like I was like, what the fuck am I watching? But
Yeah.
I always
I'm-
wanted to try it, and I was like, what the fuck?
I'm
Like,
oddly drawn to it.
yeah, that's one of those games like what the fuck? It was another game that was similar to that. I forgot what it was called though. I think it might have been by the same devs. But you see like random people streaming it or whatever, and you're like, wait a
Mm-mm.
minute, what the fuck? This shit looks crazy.
Yeah.
Like, but
Oh man.
I mean, people were like, I learned that after these fucking things, I don't even go on Twitter. I don't listen to what people say, because people always, it don't matter. You can show hundreds of games, right? And tick every single box. And it will always be somebody that's like, oh, but what about this? Why was there no this? And it's like, all right, my guy. Like
Like, of course,
shut the
everyone's
fuck
crying
up.
and saying, "Where was Metroid Prime 4?"
it's like some of these people only have ever played one game in their life. And if they don't
Yeah.
get that game,
Yeah.
they don't
Call
wanna
of
like,
Duty.
Like, no, I don't. That doesn't apply to this, because it's like these people
This
be
is
like, yo,
Nintendo.
where's
This is
GTA?
Nintendo play.
Yo, where's Metroid Prime? Yo, where's this? I'm
Tamagotchi
okay,
life.
nigga. Yeah, Tamagotchi life, nigga. Like, I know that game was popular, but damn, nigga. Like,
Like a mother, like Mother 2. The, like,
Yeah.
bro, that yo, nah, don't even
Like,
get me started on that.
no.
That was
Real
the worst.
talk.
That was
yeah.
the worst. Like
It's
people
like-
were doing that. Was that like a meme? People were doing that for a long
No,
time.
it had to have been a meme because I guarantee you the sales of those games.
It was that, and it was Mario RPG. Thank God we're getting that remake because now people can shut the hell up. Like I'm not. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna play that shit too. It's gonna be
a
great.
good game, but like I'm not.
People wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Like,
Yeah. Well, more specifically, people wouldn't shut the fuck up about Gino, which like, come on, bro.
Most
He's
of y'all
not
weren't
even
even
all
alive.
that.
Most of y'all weren't even alive to know who he is.
Yeah.
Like, get the hell out of here. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm a fan of Mario RPG. I'm gonna play the shit, obviously.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
fan.
gonna be
I'm a fan of
fun.
most of these games. But it's like these aren't the only games that exist. I want Metroid Prime 4 just as much as the next person. But if they don't show it, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this shit was mid. Everything else was mid. Like, what the fuck? Come on, bro. Like, yeah, all of it was mid because they didn't show one game.
Yeah,
Like,
because
we
they
know
didn't
it's
show
coming
one
eventually.
game. Meanwhile, they showed like 50 others, some that we already knew about, some we didn't know about,
Yeah, like, come
and
on,
are excited for because they're a returning
Like, that
franchise or
1,000 year
whatever.
door
And then some
announcement, I was
random
like,
shit
"Oh!"
too. Like they had a whole bunch of random games, like this one here that we're looking at. What is it called? War Crush? A Battle Crush? It's like a little like free to play multiplayer, like like battle royale style game. I don't know. Like I was like, yeah, I kind of want to try that.
A little cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, for me, it was like, remember in my stream, I was like reacting to it, and I was like, man, you know, like this look cool. I don't want to spend money on it, but it should be free. And it's like, and then literally the next second, it was like, yeah, it's free to play. I'm like, damn it.
and even I know we joked about it already, but even the Baldur's Gate 3 ripoff looking game, that shit still had its charm. That I was like, you know what, this looks good for Switch owners. Like I might like this.
Yeah.
You know, like there's just so many like other
Those
little
two,
things that were there.
They announced like obviously Riot is trying to go off and make League of Legends like a huge.
Oh yeah, the
fucking
2 League of Legends
thing. Those games
games
actually looked fire to me. I was like, okay, like they're actually trying to make League of Legends like
yeah, they
this
were
huge IP, which is already huge, but like
yeah.
they're trying to broaden, I guess, the scope. which
These
is
are two
cool.
very
Fighting
different
game.
genre games
Yeah,
compared to
they're making a
what they
fighting
usually
game.
do.
Apparently, they're making an MMO right now, which is when that shit drops, that's gonna probably fucking that's gonna be huge when that shit comes out. So it's like they're trying to take over, which is cool. It's a cool IP, lots of cool characters and stuff. So hopefully it succeeds. They've had some flops, but let me see. What was the name of that game? What was the name of those fucking games? Vandal Tale, Song of Nunu. Those shits look cool as fuck, but I don't know. They showed a lot of cool stuff. There was nothing there where I was like, all the stuff that I saw, I was like, yeah, I'd try this. I'd play this. There wasn't anything there that I was like, yeah, I'm good. Which usually, most of the time, there's like one of the few games where I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this for? Like, but even like that, between that and the PlayStation thing, I was like, damn, I'd play all this stuff. Stuff looks cool.
Yeah,
Except
that's part of the problem. This is so much.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? Like it's like
Yeah, trombone champ. Like, bro, come on, son.
things are
Some
gonna
of 'em-
lose out because there's gonna be just too much to do. Horizon Chase 2, we didn't even talk about that. A little track racer game, right? With multiplayer, like
the
online
arcadey.
co-op and online multiplayer.
I said that until I saw the FPS.
Yeah, the FPS
frame
looked
rate
a
in that
little
trailer was
rough.
looking a little, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking a little rough.
Just
It's,
Mario
it's
Kart,
ambitious
bro.
to do a multiplayer, yeah, unless it's something like Mario Kart, right?
Yeah. Unless it's fire, but I don't know. People just. I don't even want to talk about kart races right now.
You want to talk about the Mario Kart DLC?
I
The
mean,
last wave?
it's cool.
Literal
They
apes.
finally add fucking Pauline so I can have another character I can use. Like,
Mario Kart DLC,
Adding
aka Return of the Planet of the Apes.
Mario Kart X Apes. Like, bruh.
It's cool that they're
Crazy.
bringing in Diddy Kong though, and Funky Kong, and
Yeah,
Pauline.
finally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You got,
Pauline.
I don't.
Pauline
I don't give a fuck
looking
about
hot. She's the
Peachette,
hottest.
Yeah.
God damn. Who the fuck? Wait, can someone explain to me who Peachette is? Like, what is that supposed to be?
I
Oh,
think that's supposed to be a
Peachette is from-
toad with the
It's
little
Toadette.
crown.
Yeah, it's
Right, I meant to say toadette. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Toadette
Toadette.
with the crown. Yeah. From
Right,
what was it? Mario Bros. U Deluxe or whatever.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was that time where there was that Bowsette trend that was like going on for a while.
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
It's in that same sort of
with the crown
thing.
Okay.
They all turn into like Peach.
Yeah, that's why I got confused. I was like, isn't this just Peach?
Nah, that's Toadette.
Yeah. And then Luigi's Mansion 2. That's a good one.
Yeah, the best one.
I never played it. So.
Yeah, that shit was fire.
Getting the whole library on the Switch now.
Yo, I felt like someone at Nintendo was like,
spooky stuff.
Someone at Nintendo was just like, yo, man, how come we don't have any Mario shit? And then like, oh, you want Mario shit? Here. And they just threw a bunch of shit at me at once. I don't know.
All this Mario, baby.
Listen, bro, listen. I don't think anyone said that. I think Nintendo said that after that movie made all that money. That's true. Nintendo, they were all sitting in the boardroom like, oh, shit. Like, they already knew Mario was the moneymaker, right? But then when that movie dropped, they were like, oh, shit, we gotta keep pumping them out. Fucking Mario, Peach, Luigi,
I wonder how long they've been working on the Peach game, though, actually.
It doesn't, I doubt it's been that long. It's probably,
I think it's been like,
working on that.
At the time, they started working on the movie, maybe.
When they started working on the movie, because Peach, they want Peach to be more, they want her to be out there more, apparently. So I'm pretty sure it was in tandem with the movie. It makes sense because she was like the star of the movie. Like,
it'd be like the Barbie equivalent of Nintendo.
Yeah, it's gonna be. That shit's gonna sell gangbusters. That shit's gonna sell toys. It's just gonna sell amiibos. That shit's gonna sell.
As fuck. And now she's way more popular because of the fucking
crazy
movie.
Amount of merch.
Like I'm glad. Peach always been dope, but like that movie just skyrocketed her.
Bang.
You know how the internet is nowadays. As soon as people on the internet see character like Peach, they're like, oh shit.
Or
yeah, right.
Or they go, where the fuck is Daisy?
True. But look, as a Daisy fan, you just accept what you can get, and you don't get much. like, it is what it is. I'll take Peach. I love Peach. I'm not gonna hate. But the fact that they're pushing, I don't know. Nintendo has their phases when it comes to their girls, man. They have the phases. Like now, it's like Pauline's time now. Pauline got to be in everything.
She came back, right? Pauline was hot in the 80s.
Pauline was the original. Pauline was the original girl. I don't know why they did her so dirty all this time. But
Mary left her ass, bro.
Yeah, right?
She was too tall. Too tall, but she's the hottest one.
Peach is tall as fuck too. Damn. But it's like Rosalina had her time, right? Now Pauline's getting her time. Daisy never gonna get her time. So it's like whatever. Oh well.
We go Ripperinos there.
But shit, I'll take Pauline. I love Pauline.
I mean, you will be able to see all your favorite Nintendo characters at this new Nintendo museum that they showed off
dope.
too.
I thought that was cool.
I thought that was really cool.
I want to see what that looks like.
Yeah. But you know what?
Extremely cool.
Like, this is a huge Nintendo. It's not a gamble, but I will say, like, they think they're going to be bigger than like Disney within 5 years if they're building this shit right now.
I don't think they think
they
they're
know?
going to be bigger.
I think they know.
They don't have to be. Look, like Nintendo's, like especially when they're doing it in Japan right now, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of places. There's a lot of things like that in Japan. They have obviously Pokemon, right? Pokemon has the Pokemon Center. Square has their own shit for like Final Fantasy. A lot of companies do that. It's not. I don't think that's them thinking that they're gonna be bigger than Disney. Because a lot
it's not. It's not like there's no room in that market, right? It's just whether or not your property can get that big to sustain itself. And Nintendo's been there for. They just opened up multiple Mario worlds now.
Shit in Japan, they have there's a bunch of IPs that do that. That aren't even anywhere near as big as Nintendo, and they do it. So
and they have the Super Mario like theme park now in Japan. They had that one open up to a huge success, and then now they have one in the US too, or two of them in the US there.
If you want me to be honest with you, man, if Nintendo played their cards right, they absolutely could be bigger than Disney. Because what the fuck is Disney doing right now?
Like, flopping.
Because if you think about it, right, a lot of the Disney IPs are very old. Right?
Yes.
We don't necessarily. A lot of this generation doesn't necessarily relate to the older shit. I think the one bridge gapper that we have had is what, maybe Frozen. Frozen is like the one thing that has been like in the middle of the generations, like the newer generation of kids and like the older people. Because I love Frozen. What else? I think and like Toy Story, right? Because Toy Story is still around.
Yeah, Toy
Fucking-
Story.
Well,
think-
the Pixar, I kind of
Like-
put the Pixar at like a different, even though they are Disney, technically, but kind of put them
Yeah, true. You're right. I just
in
forgot
their
about
own
that.
little box.
But
you know?
like what was the biggest moneymaker for Disney? It was Frozen, right? So like, what else? What the fuck? I don't know, man. If
It's
Nintendo
probably-
did it right, after that Mario movie, everything they got to do has to be a hit from now on, and they can
Yeah.
definitely do it in the next
Yeah.
decade. They can absolutely do it.
Within 5 years, I'd say.
Like, maybe, but
Because you also got to,
They have the IPs
You also
to
got
do
to,
it.
you also got to realize game generally makes more money than.
Mhm.
Well, they also
Yeah.
cost more money to make too. So,
but it'd be
I don't know.
bigger. Well, you mean in terms of profit, yeah. But in terms, like, I'm talking about just bigger, like in terms of overall, like perception. Like, yeah, they can make more money. More people are gonna still know who Disney characters are. More people are still gonna know what's like Star Wars doesn't count. That wasn't an original Disney thing. Like everyone knows who Mickey Mouse is, right? Everyone
Yeah.
knows who fucking Donald Duck and all these other characters are. Everybody knows who they are. You can say everybody knows who Mario is, but
He almost
It's
there,
not
bro.
like-
I think
It's
he's
not like-
there, but
not
just
he's not there yet.
he's
He's not there
just
yet.
entering
He's
the
right
building.
underneath.
Yeah.
He's second place on the totem. He's not there yet. On the
I
fucking.
think he's approaching. He's in the lobby of the building. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you. I think Pokemon is more popular than I think Pikachu and Pokemon
True.
are more popular than Mario is right now.
I think
So-
I agree with that.
And Nintendo doesn't necessarily own fucking Pokemon, right? Like, so it's like they can. I mean, shit. To be honest, all they really need is to just pull the IPs out of their ass, like they've been doing. Just keep making godlike games for all that. They have so many characters, so many IPs. I don't know why
Mhm.
they've been sitting on them for so long. Like
Yeah,
the
I mean,
fact that they're branching off into like IRL stuff, like the theme parks, the museums, all this other stuff. That's I feel like that's the direction that Nintendo, like when we talk about them wanting to be bigger than Disney, I think that's like how they do it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
They the movies, right? The museums, the theme parks, all that shit. That's what's gonna do it. So where's the Metroid movie at? Where's the Zelda movie at? Where's those? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the games. I don't think games are mainstream, but they're not there. They're not where they can be yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
There are still people in the world. Like once this oldest generation right now, once all the boomers are gone, then
go rip.
right. Then I feel like that'll be the generation where games are what they could be. You know what I mean? Like games are like movies. Like everybody does it. Everybody knows what they are. All that shit. But right now, I don't think they're there yet. So Nintendo, for Nintendo to be Disney, they gotta succeed like everywhere else. And to be fair, they just wasn't this. Obviously, this wasn't their first. Wait, wasn't it? This was their first actual like high
Yes.
budget movie. It was,
Yes, it
right?
was.
Yes.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
See,
yeah.
there we go.
Well,
So,
yeah,
this-
technically,
this-
because
this-
the
this
Super
is the
Mario
story.
Brothers movie was
Yeah, that
like
shit
in the
don't count.
80s.
That
Right?
shit
That
don't
shit doesn't
count.
really count. They were just taking
Like-
taking advantage of the property being so popular with the introduction of the Super Mario Brothers video game.
Yeah, like this
Um,
is their first like foray into.
That was
this
the first
shit.
like
Their
big
theme
major
park,
one, though.
Like, and they're doing it all around the same time too.
And,
They've all done this within the last 5 years, right?
Yeah,
It's all
and
been within the last
if you
5
ever
years.
been to the Nintendo store in New York, like that's basically
Like,
a
that
mini
shit's
Nintendo
fire.
museum. Yeah, like they
Yeah,
have
that shit's
things
dope.
set up where it's kind of like a museum. So it's good to see them have a nice big facility that's going to be like to serve as an actual museum, because now at this point they've got a ton of history, ton of characters, ton of things that they could put in there. It's going to increase tourism because people are going to go want to see that
Japan
and then
loves
go
that
to the
stuff.
theme park. So it's just going to
Mhm.
be a money maker all over. It's just going to keep bringing in more money for them. Because now they can just go to the theme park and then hop on over to the
Mhm.
museum another day that they're there, you know?
Yeah, that shit's cool. Like I
Yeah,
love stuff
no,
like
I
that.
love
That's
it.
why, like,
It just
Japan
shows their
as a whole
influence
is
on
cool.
culture. Yeah.
Because Japan has like all those pop-up stores and stuff like that with like random shit. Like that stuff is cool. Like I don't know. I feel like Nintendo doesn't even. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. Let me not say I don't want it, but obviously as a company you want to be bigger. You want to. They know what the
Always,
potential of their.
yeah.
They know the potential of their IPs, right? They know that they could definitely be that big. But I don't. Do I want them to, bro?
I mean, no, but they're already corporate, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
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 They've been
they're
corporate for a long time now. So
I wonder what Miyamoto thinks.
I think he's gonna cash his paycheck and go.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think
what
he's
I think
happy.
he
I
thinks.
think he would be
Because think about it,
happy
bro.
seeing the influence of his characters to the
That's what I'm
children of the
saying.
world, right? Like I
Could
think
you
that's ultimately
imagine-
what you'd be
Could
happy
you
about.
imagine
No.
being like Miyamoto? Could you imagine? Well, Walt Disney don't count. That guy was anyway.
Well, I think of like George Lucas in Star Wars, right? People like
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
on
yeah.
George Lucas for Star Wars, and they're like, we got to get it out of his hands or whatever. But George Lucas's whole main thing about like creating Star Wars is that it was always about kids and family. And
But George Lucas is different too.
Yeah.
I feel like because George Lucas has had his moments where you could definitely think that guy's an asshole.
oh, for sure.
I've never seen Miyamoto in a bad light, ever.
But I feel like that's design. Like he tries to keep his shit private. Because I don't really know too much about the man.
But that's exactly.
outside of
I
all
feel
that.
like, but when I think about him, every time you see him with a picture of Mario, he's always smiling, right? Like he's always like, I feel like he is Nintendo, right, man? It's gonna be a sad day when he's gone. But anyway, like, he is Nintendo, right? So I just wonder what it feels like to see your creations and shit like that just become this. Like,
you know what it is? Okay, so when a company
It's like
goes
Stan Lee.
from
Like-
when a company goes from like small time to corporate, generally a lot of the stuff that made the shit in the first place kind of goes away. I
yeah,
think what you can say about Nintendo is even
still
though the
have that
shit
charm.
went corporate, he still has that kind of influence on the workplace. So maybe the employees are feeling that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's
So,
cool.
like,
yeah.
So, and I've been to I've worked for a lot of corporate companies that have lost that, especially like startup companies. And
Yeah,
they lose that. Yeah, as soon as you get that money or something changes, policies start changing, the employees start getting abused, stuff like that, and everything we've seen from Nintendo. Even though like they'll send the ninjas after us and all this and all that, but like generally the employees are. There was a report I think that came out not too long ago that saying like Nintendo employees are pretty happy. And,
because
they're feeling creative,
what
fulfilled
game
and
was
shit
it?
like
I think it was Mario Wonder, right? The shit came out where they were like there was no crunching, there was no deadline for the game. They just let the devs do whatever they wanted. Like
Yeah. They let the
That's
devs
crazy.
do whatever they wanted, but then they didn't force them to put co-op
Yeah,
online.
that-
you're right. But to be fair, the game looks like they had fun making it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Despite our grievances
Yeah,
with
they
having
had
online
fun.
or whatever.
I don't know if I'm gonna have fun, but
I'm
like
definitely gonna have fun because I don't need online to enjoy the game. I get what you're saying, like, but like, you can
especially when you
tell-
don't have a fucking deadline, bro. Come on. Like,
You're
It
right,
also
you're
speaks
right,
to the
you're right.
to the
It's
polish
limited
of their
ways.
games, though,
Like-
right? Like especially in this day
Yeah,
and
you
age
can
when
never-
games
it's
are
like
coming
Zelda.
out complete.
But you
and
know what? You know
polished.
what? Some people like when they're too into something, they don't forget all the details. All right, whatever. Like
Look
you
at-
got to
look
make
at-
the game that you got to make. But outside looking in, kiss my ass if you had all the time in the world and you didn't put it in. That's all.
I actually
right. You're right.
heard
Yeah, I
something
guess.
interesting today when I was watching a video, and it was the fact that that 3D Kirby game that just came out.
Yeah.
Kirby, what is the title of it? The one that's like Mario Odyssey in a way, kind of like.
I forgot, but yeah, that game was fun.
Yeah, apparently that Kirby game has not
Forgotten Land.
had
Yeah.
a single update or patch of any kind since
Nope,
release.
and it doesn't need
It's still at 1.0 and it doesn't need anything. Apparently, it's just
Nope.
such a polished game, and that's so rare. And it kind of blew my mind, like to think about it now
Yeah,
in this
it's
day and
one of the
age. I
best
was just
games.
like, wow,
I played it on
Like,
Switch. Shit was godlike.
why can't we have more of that? You know?
What's cool about that game too is this is what I'm saying. Like Nintendo needs to just keep putting out. Like people are like, yeah, man. Remember, you know what I never understood. People would always. The complaint was always, why would I buy a new Nintendo console? All we're gonna get is Mario and Zelda and Mario Kart and Smash
So?
again, like we always get. And I'd be like,
and
and
yeah,
the fuck, like
Bro, what?
hello?
Spoken like people who don't understand business.
Those
Don't understand
games-
IPs.
It's not even business. It's like the game. I'm talking about it from a consumer standpoint. From us, what's wrong with that? The
I'll
games
tell
are
you-
always godlike.
I'll tell you,
Hello?
I'll be honest with you.
Like-
I never had a Nintendo console. I played them, but I never had a Nintendo console
Yo, get him
until
outta
I got a Nintendo 64.
Get him out.
I was poverty,
Get
man. Come on, man. You can't kick me out for poverty. I was broke. I was broke,
same,
neighbor. I'm
I
broke.
agree.
No, I agree.
I
Yo,
mean, to be fair, I didn't have a Super Nintendo of my own,
like-
but I was basically I lived at my cousin's house. So
Yeah, I used to
had
go to
them.
my cousin's
Yeah,
house
like-
and play.
Yeah.
But at
that's
the
how
same
we
time,
used to
like,
do it.
Yeah,
I
like,
had the
Genesis.
Nintendo, and then
Yeah,
my
yeah,
cousin had the Genesis.
Yep, I
And I
had
would go to
Genesis. I
his
used to go to my
house.
cousin's house. Yep.
Yeah. So my point being is like it's easy when you're younger. Like I fell into that trap where I was like, man, Nintendo is like for kids console, man. Like Mario was for kids. Then I had a 64 because all my friends had a 64, and I was like,
You was
man,
a
these games
normie.
are fucking godlike. I was like, what
You
the fuck?
you were a normie, bro.
Yeah, I
'Cause
was
you
a
know
normie.
that-
I was playing Mortal Kombat
Fuck
2
that
on my Sega Genesis.
Oh
I
god.
mean, I was playing Mortal Kombat. Yeah, you're right. I was playing Mortal Kombat.
You
as well,
know,
but
like so I
also
was
playing
like,
Sonic.
man, Nintendo's
So,
for kids.
like-
Then I played Super Mario 64 at my friend's house, and I was like, I need this shit.
I couldn't play Sonic and then look at Nintendo games and say they were for kids.
Yeah.
That's just how I was. Like, because I grew up on Sonic and Mario.
And like,
Yeah. And
Nintendo is it, man. Nintendo's always gonna be that part of your childhood. It's always gonna be fun. Though.
Yeah, and
you
but
know
I always
what?
found it funny that like, how was that a complaint to say that? Yeah, this is another Mario game. When every Mario game, you know, obviously you have the ones that are samey, like the 2D Mario's don't really change much. I mean, Wonder looks pretty unique, right? But
Yeah.
the 2D Mario games that I feel like they put in as like filler between the 3D Mario games.
Yeah, even
Right?
3D Worlds with the whole cat thing and stuff like that. Too.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
it's like-
dope. But like, the 3D Mario games are usually so like revolutionary and different at the time that they come out
Mhm.
that who cares if it's the next Mario game? Because Mario Galaxy just did shit different than Mario 64. First of all, Mario 64 was obviously one of the most revolutionary game of all time, right? So we can't even, no one can shit on Mario 64.
Nope.
What's it called? What was the Sunshine came out? That was unique.
Sunshine came
right?
out. Yeah, it was unique.
Galaxy, we just said that was unique. The only one that I feel like they played it kind of safe was Odyssey, right? Odyssey has some cool stuff, but I feel like they played it kind of safe with that game. Hopefully the next one they pull something out of their ass and make that shit crazy. Because I'm used to when Mario drops, it's a new gimmick, it's some new crazy shit every time. When a new Zelda drops, then again, I guess Zelda.
I mean,
guess
Zelda's
Breath
just
of
gonna
the
be
Wild.
Breath of the Wild. That's it. That's all they're gonna
I'm
make
not gonna
from
lie
now
to
on.
you. This is going off on a tangent, but I hope not. I hope the next one is not in this same style of game. I think it will be. I think it will be, but I don't
I'll
think
be
it's gonna
surprised. I'd be surprised if it isn't.
I don't think it's gonna be Breath of the Wild though, because even Tears of the Kingdom, they kind of went back. They kind of listened to a lot of the criticism, and they kind of went back and changed some of the things. But like, oh no, man, that kind of Zelda's not for me. But
No, not for me either.
Nintendo IPs have always taken risks. That's what I'm trying to say. They've always
Sounds
taken
good.
risks.
Well, I think they prioritize creators, and I think that's a good thing
Exactly.
that Miyamoto has always kind of put forth. And I think he's always smiling because he could literally pass away 10 years ago, and like he cemented in fucking history. Like,
Yeah.
how do you,
Yep.
like? I wonder how it feels to be like alive and knowing you have a fucking legacy, bro.
That's what
Like,
I'm
Just knowing that
saying,
you're
like-
a legend, a living legend, bro.
yeah, like you could pass away. You know what I'm saying? Not that I want that, but I'm saying, like, you know what I mean?
That's what I said. Like, it's gonna be a sad day when he's gone, because it's like, bro, this guy, I feel like, is Nintendo, bro. Like, shit, I even felt bad when Reggie stepped down. I was
Oh,
like,
dude,
these
I was,
motherfuckers are like,
I was
you know what I'm
crying
saying?
in my
Like,
room when Reggie left, bro.
I was like, bruh, I wonder how these guys feel to be attached to this. Like, bruh, that's just crazy to me. What a feeling that must be to know that you're the creator of Mario. You see, that's why I brought up Stan Lee, right? Because you know Stan Lee, the comics and shit. You saw that shit go from paper to TV to what it is now to games to movies to the biggest fucking shit. Like, bruh.
Crazy.
Even after he
and
left
then he
Marvel,
cameos.
technically. Yeah,
And
even
he cameos in like every movie. Like, I wonder how that feels, bro. Like that's
no
crazy.
one will know, man. You know, like I
Right.
mean, he'll know, and Miyamoto knows, and
Unless you
Kojima
just-
knows.
Man, I
but,
wanna do
like,
something
Unless you do
crazy.
something that's that fucking
Yeah, I want to
moving.
do something crazy.
Leaves your
Something
mark on the
iconic,
world that
like,
big.
bro. It don't even got to be.
but
something
it's
that
also
big. But-
like, yeah, it's about him, but it's also because he invests him into other people.
Mhm.
So like a little bit, you know, other creators have a little bit of him in them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, so hopefully whoever after Miyamoto, you know, is like has that thing to take him even more forward. You
Working with teams and people that you
Like-
trust and people
Like
that
when
understand
Iwata passed
your
away,
vision.
that
It's
shit
a
was
shared
sad as fuck
vision.
because that was like his protege.
Mhm.
That shit was
Yeah.
crazy.
He would have been the next Miyamoto.
Yeah, like, that shit was cool. But rest in peace, Rick Water.
Rip.
Wouldn't have the Switch if it wasn't for him.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nintendo's probably like, damn it, man, fuck. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So state of play.
Well, yeah, I think with
Yeah.
everything that Nintendo did,
right,
all eyes
like-
were immediately on Sony with what they were gonna do, and I think
Damn, yeah,
they
E3.
did.
It was another
Bro.
E3.
Like if I
they
had
did
time,
enough.
like if I
think
had
they
time
did
with us,
enough.
yeah. If we had time to mess around, I probably would have did a skit of just like, wait, so Nintendo's doing Nintendo? Nah, fuck that. We're doing one today. like
Yeah, right. Like, is this E3
Like,
again?
that's how it
It's
felt.
basically just E3.
That's how it felt. Nintendo announced it, and literally a minute later, was like Sony was
Yep.
like, "Nah, fuck that, bro. We got shit too."
Yeah, they be doing that. They be planning that shit.
Yeah. But where Nintendo's Direct was jam packed, Sony had a few select titles, a few things that they wanted to show off, just some things to show. It's like, hey, we're working on some stuff. But I honestly didn't see anything that was like
It wasn't terrible.
all
It
that
wasn't
disappointing.
terrible, but
I felt like it was
wasn't,
fine. Yeah, it was good.
Everything
It was
was
okay.
good, which is what I would want from these things. I don't want like the usual, let's have 3 good games and then a bunch of bullshit in between them. Like, the only thing that everything else we already know about mostly.
Yep.
That fucking, I want to be excited for that Avatar game, bro. But every time I see that Ubisoft logo, I'll be like,
That Avatar game is it
Like,
looks,
part
looks
of-
good.
Yeah.
but
it
it's
looks
got that.
good, but it's Ubisoft. So
Yeah,
everything
so
that
I
Ubisoft
don't-
does looks good.
I don't exactly.
Like-
I don't trust it. I remember watching the trailer and I'm just like, man, that actually looks all right. And then I had
looks
to remember
fun.
it's
it looks
Ubisoft.
great, and then it's a Ubisoft game.
I can't.
right?
I need to see. I need to see it released and
Do we
actual
even need to talk about
gameplay.
Spider-Man?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game looks fucking phenomenal. Like,
Wait, real quick. On that, like, you notice that they only showed the Ubisoft logo for like a second, by the way.
yeah, right at the end.
They
Yeah,
had to-
yeah, of
they had
course.
to show it right at
Yeah,
the
And then-
yeah.
And then also, when I was watching that trailer, I was kind of thinking, like, in my head, I was just like, I don't know what kind of game this is. Because they literally
Yeah,
showed
they
it
were showing
literally right after
first-person
the
shooting
VRs.
yeah,
Yeah,
They were showing
and then-
first-person shooter shit, fucking 3D,
3D,
third person,
yeah.
fucking flying around. I'm like, bro. First of all, if I play an Avatar game, I get it. That's what Avatar is, right? Like they were shooting and doing all that crazy stuff in the movies. They would pick up the guns, do all that wild shit, right? That's great. But like, when I see, what this reminded me of? You know what I instantly thought of? What happened to Turok, bro? Like, that's what it reminded me of. Like-
Turok's back in the prehistoric age.
Yeah, right. Like, that's what it reminded me of. And I was like, the coolest part. This is obviously me. It still has to be a game, but me personally, the thing I liked about Avatar was the world, right? I didn't give a fuck about, like, when the action and stuff started. It was cool, but that wasn't my favorite part of like the Avatar experience. Like, I thought the world was cool, the character building, everything was dope. And that was the coolest. That was like this trailer for me. The trailer when they were like riding the fucking I forgot what they were called, but when they were riding the shit around. The world looks beautiful, right? Everything looks great. And then you see the combat, and it's like, oh, here's the boring part of Avatar that I don't really fuck with. But so I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure that's just me though, because there still has to be a game, all right? They still have to add that. It just has to be a game. So, and I know most people wouldn't agree with me when they watch the Avatar movies. Like, yeah, man, what are you talking about? Those were the best parts when they were shooting and flying around. I'm like, nah, that's just not me. But I mean, this is a Ubisoft game. It's always a wait and see, right? It comes out in what, December or something like that? December 7th, I think. And it's like,
I'm not touching it.
I got some bad news for you. As far as Turok as a property is concerned, it is owned by the same rights that owns Jurassic Park. You ain't never seen Turok.
What?
In 2012, DreamWorks Animation (SKG) announced that it had acquired Classic Media for 155 million. The company became a division of DreamWorks Animation, where it was renamed DreamWorks Classics as of 2016.
It's not as bad
Yikes.
as you think, as it sounds.
I mean, what it means is
Turok
that
is just a dinosaur game.
Yeah, what it means, what they're
Jurassic-
gonna
make a
do is
dinosaur
they're
Jurassic Park game.
gonna
Like-
release it as part of a franchise deal where Vin Diesel takes over as Turok, and it's about family and dinosaurs.
But when I said that, I don't mean specifically Turok. I mean that type of game.
That
Like,
type of game, yeah.
That shooting, like the dinosaurs and all that shit. Like they could make that. They could just make a game like Turok and it be called a Jurassic Park game. It doesn't matter what the name is.
Yeah,
I just
but
want a game like that again.
memes aside,
Like, you know,
this Avatar game has been in development for I think over a decade now at this
it's like
point
10 years.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
a long time.
it's been in development longer than Cyberpunk was rumored to be in development for when they
Yeah, and
announced
looks
it.
way worse.
Uh,
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, just one of those. If it was any other dev, I would have been like, I'm curious. See, Ubisoft on this shit, I'm like, let's take a look at how many objectives are going to be on the map at the same time. Like, just fetch quests and going
Well,
back
let's
and
see
forth,
what the
doing
HUD
nothing.
looks like.
Like, yeah, right.
Because the HUD is gonna have a million pop-ups, and the frame rate's not gonna
Especially
look
when,
like that. The fucking resolution's not gonna look like that.
Especially when Chat GPT is making half the quests.
I mean, to be fair, the game looks hella downgraded than when they showed it before. So
Yeah.
that's typical Ubisoft stuff.
Mhm.
That's the first strike. There it is.
Yeah. So well, I guess in terms of this,
Helldivers 2 looks cool.
yeah, obviously the Resident Evil DLC.
Yeah.
But,
Next week.
Next week.
Next week, that was the big shocker.
That Foam Stars game actually it actually looks kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
The only
interested.
reason why I'm negative about it is because what the fuck is Square doing, bro? Like,
Yeah.
Find something new.
Well,
take a chance.
also that game should be free to play. Like, you know what I mean?
is it not?
I
I
don't. I
doubt
have
it.
no idea. I doubt it.
I don't think.
Right? Yeah, I know.
I don't see that game not being free to play. 4v4 online game. There's no way people are gonna buy this. So it's like, they better be free. No one's
It's-
buying this.
It's
Like,
Square though.
this is what I'm saying. Like, we could talk about this shit later, but if it was any other dev, I'd be like, this looks great. I'm gonna, because I want to play. I'm gonna try the beta. Obviously,
Yeah,
it looks like something I
yeah.
would play. But why is, but in the back of my head, I'm like, what is Square doing with this stuff? Like, if this was like a Nintendo game, right? Or like somebody different, like a Devolver Digital game, or some random dev making this game, I'd be like, great, cool. Why Square though? Like, do they have money to lose right now? No. Like, I get it, they're still trying to take these risks and all this shit, but like, bro, come on, man. Apparently it's free to play. We'll see. Either way, the game's gonna be DOA. Game looks fun. It's not Splatoon, so it doesn't matter. GG. Actually, now that I think about it, this game is PS exclusive, so I guess they want this to be Splatoon equivalent. Who
I mean,
knows?
with it being on PS exclusive, it could potentially be a PS Plus game.
It absolutely could be if they support the fucking game.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the issue with all these games that come out like this. Destruction All Stars. There were games previously that had come out on PS4. I forgot what the name of the game was. It was like a David Jaffe game that came out, and it was apparently really, really good, but they just didn't support it. Everybody was playing it when it came out, and they didn't support it. What was it called? It was like Drawn to Something. It was a David Jaffe game. Was it called Drawn
yeah,
to
no, I
Death
know
or
what
something
you're
like
talking
that?
about. I think it's Drawn to Death. Yeah, I did
Like,
play
apparently
that.
that game came out and it was hype. It was dope. Everybody was playing it, and then like something happened and it just died. Like,
Yeah,
I
Drawn
don't
to
know.
Death.
They never
Yeah.
support these games. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's no support. If you're gonna release a free to play game, like, yeah, it doesn't have to necessarily be like a game as a
Knockout
service
City
game,
shut
but they gotta, yeah, it's shut down.
Yes.
You gotta
yeah,
support
and that
it.
game was hype. Like, what the fuck?
You gotta have a
just said, "I'm
constant
sorry, we're out of here."
content trickle, you know, and that's the thing. A free to play game, you gotta make your money somehow, because how do you afford devs constantly working on it aside
Destruction
from
All-Stars
some
comes
kind of
out,
microtransaction?
everyone's playing it.
Well,
Then they just
Destruction All-Stars-
destroy the game.
Destruction All-Stars
Well,
is a little different because I
Destruction
don't think
All-Star
that it was
kinda
ever
fucked
made to
up.
be free to play initially. I think it was just a PS Plus launch,
That's exactly the point I'm making.
and that's
it
what
should
kind
have
of
been.
yeah, it should
Like,
have been.
Yeah.
Like,
But then again, even if it was, it's like they removed content when they did
Yeah.
go pay to play, and they
but
removed it from
if
PS
it
Plus.
was originally free to play, we wouldn't have known better when they removed the content and all that shit. Because the only reason they probably had all that content in the game is because it was a paid game, right? They thought people were
Yeah.
gonna buy it, and then they were like, "Oh shit, we're making it free to play. We can't keep up with all this shit. Let's just remove stuff, less server space, whatever the fuck, right?" Like, I don't know. Like, the thing about Nintendo stuff is there's so many people on like a Switch that are willing to dabble in certain things, right? Like, there are certain games on the Switch that I don't think I ever would have played if it was like free on PlayStation Plus or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, because for some reason, like when I'm on a Nintendo console, I'm more inclined to try certain things. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But like, if there was Splatoon 3 on the Switch and then it was an equivalent game on like fucking PlayStation 5, I would probably play the Switch version because I know that they're probably gonna those people are probably gonna play that game. Nintendo's gonna support that game like they have with Splatoon. Like, bro, that Splatoon 3 DLC, I was like, damn, when did this game come out? Like, like, when did Splatoon 3 even come out?
It came out this year, like
It
earlier.
did?
Yeah, it came out
like January, February, or something like that.
Like, Splatoon is so big, and it's like that game thrived on the Wii U of all things, right? Like, so it's like, certain games like that will be supported. A game like this, Square ain't gonna support this motherfucker, bro. What was that game that they put out a while ago that flopped immediately? Babylon's Fall.
Babylon.
Yeah.
Like, well, because it was also ass.
Bro, Avatar. I said Avatar. Avengers, biggest IP ever. They're gonna support that shit. Come on, bro. Like,
well, they
know.
did support it, but they didn't really support
didn't
it
do
in the
shit.
way that people liked.
They
That's
didn't
what
do
it
shit.
was.
That's not support. That's just whatever the
And
fuck.
so
They did whatever the fuck
Splatoon
they
released a year ago, September.
It was September. Yeah. It was last
September.
Fall. Like,
yeah. I mean, like, there's tons of games that don't get the support that once they're out, and you need that support that's gonna constantly have your player base coming back to it, right?
yeah.
Because even like look at something like Fall Guys. Fall Guys has a constant player base because they just keep dropping new collaborations and new support in there. They add things few and far between, but every time they add something, it brings people back to it, and then there's a lull. Then you drop off with players. The fewer players you have playing the games, the fewer players you have buying things in order to keep the game going, because that's what's ultimately going to keep the game going. People who are buying things within the game, your microtransactions, your skins, your shit like that. And if you don't have any of that, then it's like, well, what are you doing?
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about this before we move on. Right, a game like this needs to be a game that I hope. When is this? When is this even supposed to come out? Who knows? The beta is next week, but
Chrome starts beta. Yeah,
I think it's like next year.
I'm interested enough in it to see what it's about.
this game needs to be a streamer
fun.
game. The only way games like this blow up is when people are streaming the game and word of mouth. No one, I'm pretty sure nobody watching this, well, except like a few people and me included, I'm pretty sure the majority of people that were watching this weren't interested in this at all, right? But if they were to go on like Twitch or go on YouTube and see somebody that they watch playing the game and saying it's dope, they'd probably play it, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully they're smart enough to realize
Influencers.
that. Like, hopefully they're smart enough to realize that and put this shit right in front of streamers. Like, Knockout City, bro, it looked cool to us, right? But a lot of the word of mouth that blew that game up at the time was streamer shit.
Yeah, it was when
Same
it
thing with Fall
released
Guys.
and everybody started playing it.
Yeah, same thing with Fall Guys, same thing with Among Us, same thing with all these little like smaller games. So hopefully,
Among Us was out for 2 years before it blew up.
exactly. Like, so I don't know, but the thing about but the problem with a game like this is, this game is not going to be out for 2 years with no fucking popularity, right? Among Us, there was a smaller dev, they didn't care. They had their game out for a while, and then it finally blew up, and they were like, oh shit.
They were in the middle of making two.
Yeah,
and then,
exactly.
And then,
Like,
and then they were like,
so-
oh shit, fuck that.
So a game like this is like, oh, if it dies in the first couple months, it's gone forever. Like, it's over. All right. That's not gonna be no Among Us. Like, so I don't know. We'll see. It looks fun.
Yeah. And then also on that note, like, I don't know, playing a free game on PlayStation Plus isn't really free, right? Especially with the increased prices. So
Yep.
you will automatically don't even want, you know what I mean?
Yep. Agreed.
And the free games that are available is like not
I don't
necessarily.
even have Plus anymore. And I had
Yeah,
that shit.
I don't have it.
I've had that shit for years up until June. Like,
Yeah.
I just said there's no reason to get it. But
yeah.
whatever.
What do you guys think about the Starship Troopers game?
Helldivers 2. I think it looks cool. I think it has a potential, like, as you know, multiplayer co-op online.
I mean,
like,
Helldivers was hella popular, and Helldivers is isn't Helldivers what's the devs that did fuck what is the name of the fucking game? I forgot. It's not. I'm pretty sure it's not them though. People that did Resogun, no, it's not them. People that did Resogun are fucking AAA devs now, so it's not them. Helldivers 1 was cool. I played that shit on PS4. It was fun.
Yeah.
This game looks way better than that one did, though.
Huge
So,
upgrade
I'm
of the
interested.
game.
Yeah,
and
I'm just curious about the performance because there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be all right.
I just think honestly, this game's success is going to be whether or not that core loop is going to be satisfying to bring people back to want to keep playing and doing missions, right? Like, are we going to want to play this game, right? Are we going to want to continue to play it, right? Or is it just going to be a game we try and then we're just like, nah, that's it, it's over, you know?
I
Like,
don't know. Depends.
I don't know. It depends on how
content.
satisfying
Like,
it is, right? It depends on what's also, it's sad to say, but it also depends on what else is out at the time, right?
True. But Helldivers was never that big of a thing, but it was a success for them on PS4. So, I mean, I don't think they're expecting it to be fucking do gangbusters, but I know a lot of people that are actually excited for it. I'm actually excited for it because, like I said, I did play the original one. I think it's on PC too.
I played the original as well, but I played like single player, like a few missions, nothing crazy, but it was fun. Yeah.
This guy Freak is the king of like, I have no friends to play with. Like,
play a bunch
we
of
have no excuse
random
now.
games. Yeah, I know
we have no
that's
excuse
true,
now.
and we have played a lot of games. You know, we just tried to play Payday 3 beta. Excited for that.
do we want to give quick thoughts
Got a
on
bunch
that?
of Wolverine enemies they got in there.
Oh, I almost said it.
I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm sorry.
But,
It's cool. I think they need to tighten it up. I'm glad it's a beta because it
definitely
it's
needs some
clearly
matchmaking
things that they
fixes.
need to fix. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they
Gameplay
could,
is great.
yeah, gameplay's fine. Multiple stages. Obviously, it's only like one stage in the beta. I
more
thought
we
it was
played
good.
it,
You know.
the more I realized, like, the more in depth I realized it was. Like, there's a lot of, like, at first, we kept going and we were just running in and shooting like idiots.
Yeah, it
like,
was just
but the more
doing
like
the
I
thing.
played it, I even tried a couple games like by myself one day, and I was like, damn, there's a lot of shit that goes into, like, you can play these games. Of course, you can play it by running and gunning and doing all that shit, but
like
it's way more satisfying doing it the right way, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, like even one of the last times we played before we had stopped, I had gotten caught by the security guard and I was getting escorted out, and that allowed me to pickpocket the ID off of him.
Yeah.
So that allows you to then sneak back in and get into the room you need to go into for certain things. So it's really cool. Like certain aspects like that. If you like,
I always heard Payday 2 was hella deep. Yeah. Like, there's always like build videos, like strat videos, speed run stuff, all this stuff. And the game looks great. So hopefully it's just more of that.
I'm interested. It hooked me enough to keep me interested when it releases. And that's all you can hope for.
It's on the Game Pass too.
Yeah, there's no reason. Like,
that's a plus.
But yeah, that's the crazy part. I'm like, damn, everything is on Game Pass. I don't gotta buy nothing this month.
Yo, and then all right. So I guess we should get the big ones out of the way. I mean, do we really need to talk about Spider-Man and Far From
No.
Well, what was that game? What was that game they started off with? Baby Steps, bro. That game was
Baby Steps, bro.
That's 100% a Super Freak game.
Nah, that's 100. You know what that's for? That's them trying to capitalize off of. That was a Devolver Digital game, right? It had to have been. I'm pretty sure.
I have no idea. Actually, this is the first time I've seen it. I immediately thought QWOP, and then I immediately thought I need to play this.
I immediately thought.
Actually, yes, Devolver Digital is involved. They're the publisher. They're not the developer, but they're the publisher.
No wonder why
right?
it's a freak game.
So I immediately thought this is like a higher budget, only up, a higher budget, getting over it, a higher budget, stilt fella. You know what I'm saying? Like those games, like So that's them trying to capitalize off of that right now, because those games are like, especially for like all the streamers gonna be playing this shit when it comes out. So it's those fucking those hot moment games where you play for like they're hot for like a month. Everybody's playing them all over Twitch, all over YouTube, all over whatever the fuck else.
Yeah,
but it looked funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie. I will play that shit. That shit looks stupid.
I'll play it. I'll throw it on the wish list. I think it's also coming out for PC. So
we don't need to talk about FF7, bro. Like, unless you want to sit here all night, you don't need to talk about that. You don't need to talk about Spider-Man.
I think FF7 is just they showed a great trailer for a highly anticipated title that's gonna keep people interested in it. That's it.
But look, game is gonna come out, buy it, and then move on.
Yeah, buy it, play it for hundreds of hours.
Don't care. Like,
Spider-Man's coming out next fucking month
80 million times. Like, don't care. Like,
I will say though, what they did show about Spider-Man was very, very good to see. They showed a lot of good. game engine things, improvements, things from the previous game, where it's like without spoiling anything, they were just like, hey, here's how we improve the game. And I was like, man, this is how you do like a dev trailer that just kind of like it's just gonna get people even more interested if they weren't interested already. Fast switching between characters, taking advantage of PS5 SSD, whatever. It was just all good things to see. I didn't see anything that I didn't see anything that I was just like, oh man, I wish they did. No, everything was like awesome, great, can't wait to play it.
Crazy thing, one of the things that kind of surprised me was Tales of Arise are getting DLC, and that kind of speaks to how well that game did, because these games never really get like DLC like that. So the fact that they wanted to invest in making DLC for this game, because usually by right now we would have had an announcement for a new game already. So the fact that game clearly did fucking super well for them to just want to continue making DLC for that shit, because man, I was hoping we were going to see a new Tales. Shit, we might see a new Tales game at TGS or at the Tales Festival next year. So who knows?
I think this is a side project. But to be honest, I was going to ask the question. You literally brought this up. I was just like, is there a such thing as too late for DLC? Because I'm like, part of me is like, oh, this is cool, but then I'm already over Tales of Arise. You know what I mean? Like, and do I really want to go back to it?
I don't think so. Because
I don't know.
I'm the kind of person where
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm the kind of person where if DLC comes out at, the only reason why I slightly agree is because it's coming out the wrong time. If it came out any other time, sure, but I'm excited for it. But I do think this is just a placeholder, because they're obviously working on a new game. So I don't even think that they care if it's too late or not, right? That's why I said the game clearly sold well, because they want to make more money. They know hella people bought it. So people probably gonna buy the DLC, right? I'm gonna buy it, but I feel like I said, by now, when did that game come out? 2021.
A while ago. Came out.
Yes, it was 2021. It was so summer 2021, I believe. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it was. And by now, those games usually get announced very often, like maybe 2-3 year gaps in between. So I'm pretty sure the only reason why they're doing this is because it's a placeholder for a new one. So I don't think there's such thing as too late. When did Cyberpunk come out?
Well over a year ago, yeah.
2021, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it December 2021?
2020, actually, December 2020.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, yeah, I can't really say things are too late.
Yeah, but in those cases, in that game with that certain developer, they're known to release expansions like a year or two after release.
I think
Yeah, but not 3 years later. Fucking Witcher 3 got DLC like not that long after the game came out.
Well, you remembered that the shit had all this drama, and then Edge Runner just completely reinvented the game.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the DLC wasn't already in development, though. That DLC was probably well in development before it even fucking. That DLC was gonna come out regardless of.
Yeah, I think it was pre-planned.
What's it called? There was no way that Edge Runners came out and then they decided to do DLC. That was gonna come out regardless. Like, and that's a long time.
I think a lot of the content and things that they had planning for it got delayed anyway because they had to fix the game.
Yeah. True.
Well, and then also there was always news about it, right? It never quite left the main media, right? Because they always dropped like bugs, or there was always drama surrounding it, they always dropped little bits and pieces. And then Edge Runners came out, and it was like a whole fucking new renaissance of the game, right?
Yeah.
So, but with Tales of Arise, the game dropped, and then literally silence until basically now. Which, so I don't know. To me, it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to go back. I don't know if I want to go back.
It's been about what, a year and a half.
I think that it can be considered like, I think there's definitely like a sweet spot when it's like striking when the iron is hot with DLC announcements or things like that. Even like if you announce it, right? Like this is now announced. I don't know when it's going to be released, but they just like announced it, right?
November.
But I do think that even if it's like, I don't know if there's a such thing as too late, if it can bring back the people who really enjoyed that game, to gives them a reason to replay it before the DLC comes out. So it kind of brings players back. So yeah, it could be too late for not striking when the game was as popular as it was. But if you have a popular enough
the way
game,
the game ended, we knew there was going to be DLC anyway.
Yeah.
But Yeah, we knew it was gonna happen. We just didn't obviously we didn't know when. But I don't know. There's a lot of games that have taken like shit 2-3 years to have DLC. We're not gonna see Elden Ring DLC till what, this time next year, probably. Like, and that's gonna be what, 2 years? Shit. So I don't know. When you forget about something, normally I'm the kind of person, if I forgot about a game, good, because now when the DLC comes out, it's gonna feel like it's fresh again for me. Like I already put 300 hours or something into that fucking game, and then now it's like, oh shit, cool. I have a reason to go back to that game that I actually really liked. And like I said, it's a placeholder for the new game. They work on those games so frequently that they're just putting that shit out, recoup the cost for the engine or whatever the fuck, and then call it a day. Put that towards the new game. So that's cool. I don't know. I feel like that was it, right? That's all they really showed.
Yeah, it
yeah,
wasn't.
they showed a new
it wasn't as
Hoyoverse
much.
game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How
but,
long was
you
it?
know,
It was
Nah,
about, let's
They
see,
just announced that that's coming to PS5. That game's been out for like
27 minutes. It wasn't as long. I think it was a lot more
Okay, so yeah, that
condensed,
makes
but
sense
they
then.
they focused on everything that they
27 minutes?
showed, right? Yeah.
Damn,
It's
they showed
27
a
minutes.
lot for 27 minutes. Then yeah,
They
they showed a lot for
definitely
that.
did show a lot for 27
Yeah.
minutes, but it was also like very like it felt jam packed too, right? Like
Mhm.
even if it wasn't as like Nintendo was like throwing stuff at us, boom, 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 boom. This felt more
Mhm.
like it was very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Like intentional in its decisions of showing what it showed, I guess.
Mhm.
And I think what they showed was great. It was just like, yeah, here's some games to look forward to, upon the millions of others.
I'll be honest. I feel like this is like the TGS like pre-show thing, right? Because for some reason, I guess ever since things started going like, you know, the Nintendo Direct route,
Mm-hmm.
these companies try to like get in front of these big things now, like these big events now, like how the Summer Games Fest, like PlayStation would have their own showcase before the Summer's Game Fest, right? Nintendo would have their directs before all this other shit. It's like they try to get in front of these big things now to just like snuff them out. Like Sony and Nintendo did their shit a week before TGS just so they could snuff the motherfuckers out, right? So that they just get TGS out of existence. TGS ain't going nowhere, but like snuff TGS out of existence, right? Like they snuffed everybody else out. So they could just have their own shit. Everybody could just watch their shit. Like, because in the back of my head, I was like, okay, I wonder what they're saving for TGS. And then I was like, all this shit, this is like their biggest shit. So what could they possibly be saving for TGS? This is their biggest stuff that's coming out. It's like FF7 Remake is like Sony's biggest dick right now. Like,
Yeah.
what else they got? Like obviously Spider-Man comes out next month, right? Or whatever. But they pushing the hell out of FF7 Remake, bro. They've got that at the end of every showcase. Like,
I mean,
I don't know.
Square needs it. Square.
Yeah. You could tell this
Yeah.
is where the budget went though. Like this is definitely the highest budget game so far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just-
And then Dawn Trail come out next year, so it's like they're just hoping that this and FF14 just carry the company. Apparently,
yeah.
I mean, can't just FF14 just carry the company?
it has been. Shit.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, like with all the stuff that's coming out, announced so far, like I'm a little bit afraid of what unknown things we got on the horizon with TGS and the Game Awards, right? Like more stuff to look forward to.
Give me
like,
Jack and Daxter, yo. Give me
bro,
motherfucking.
like, can you
Give me
imagine?
Give me Jack
Bro.
and Daxter. Give me that new Monster Hunter, baby.
Hold up. Hold up, hold
wait,
up.
we still haven't
Hold
seen
up.
anything from Capcom. Capcom's coming
Nope.
out with something soon, right?
It's Monster Hunter, bro. It's Monster Hunter,
Tokyo
bro.
Game
Like,
Show.
just-
Well, not even just
When
that, but
is it,
we
though?
need to see more of that Goddess game too, right? Can we see more
yeah,
of
but
that?
yeah, but we talking about new stuff. I'm talking about stuff that we
I'm
don't
not
know
talking
about.
new stuff,
Like,
yeah.
like
Talking about
I
new-
want Monster. Give me Monster Hunter, bro.
That new.
Just show me that shit. Like,
And then
On that note, there's Capcom just posted something
Hmm?
next Thursday, September 21st. TGS.
Tokyo Game Show. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Yep.
Is that
Get
it?
ready
Is
for
that
it.
gonna be it?
Yeah. Yeah.
then they got the
It said-
release of Castlevania premiere, right? They might show something off there.
Well, here's what they said they're gonna talk about. Apparently, Dragon's Dogma
DMC
2.
anime? Oh, wait,
Are
isn't
you-
Dragon's Dogma supposed to get a fucking anime too? Wasn't Dragon's Dogma? It was Dragon's Dogma or DMC. Which one was it? They said they were making an anime for.
Well, look, like I don't know
Dragon's Dogma had a TV series.
Oh, it had it already?
2012. Yeah. It was originally 2012. Oh no, the 2012 was the game. Okay, so there was a Netflix show in 2020 for Dragon's Dogma.
I heard it was godlike. I gotta watch that.
Yo,
Gotta play
okay,
that.
so all right, so couple of things. So Netflix has their anime thing, and then Capcom was like, keep an eye on it. So there's definitely something Capcom related in that Netflix anime
It's that
thing.
rumored DMC anime, probably.
Maybe.
Or it just could, or it could be something Castlevania related.
Why would Capcom do
Well-
something Castlevania related?
Yeah. Castlevania is already
Why would
coming
they
out.
show it during that
that's
anime?
nothing-
Why would
has
they have
nothing-
that as part of it?
It's the Netflix anime thing.
Yeah.
It's not a Castlevania event. It's a Netflix thing. So Capcom could be showing like their own thing during the Netflix thing.
Yeah. And then for the presentation, they're focusing on Dragon's Dogma 2, Separate Ways, Hollow Justice, Street Fighter 6.
More Street Fighter 6 stuff. Aki.
We gonna see.
Aki way chopped cheese.
Nah,
Chopped cheeses.
We're probably gonna see. What the fuck is it?
Nah,
Is
it's
it
probably
Ed next?
Aki because
I think Ed is next, right?
Yeah,
Aki
but I
comes
think
out that day, doesn't she?
no, she comes out the 28th.
She comes out.
Okay, so next week. Okay, they probably should show the
Yeah.
gameplay then.
In a week
Yeah,
or
okay,
so.
makes sense.
And then Exo Primal, but no one cares about that game. But
Nobody cares
anyway,
about that game,
um,
unfortunately.
yeah. So that's all the info. But that has nothing to do with the
Nah,
TGS
they're
in
showing.
general.
Yeah, they're showing Monster Hunter. They're
Monster
gonna
Hunter.
flip their
Gotta
dicks.
be right.
They're gonna flip it right out. They're gonna show. It's gonna flop out on the table, and they're gonna be like, "Suck it," and I'm gonna be like, like, watch.
Whoa,
It better be
whoa
Monster.
there, brother.
I don't. Nah, ain't no whoa. Shut up. If they show Monster Hunter, I don't give a fuck. Nobody cares. Yeah, exactly. They show Monster Hunter. You bet. My mouth is gonna be wide open.
We're
the hell outta here with that
we're
shit.
gobbling glizzies for
It's
Monster
after. It's
Hunter.
after 12 a.m. over here, right? It's after.
I can't take any more games,
hell outta
bro.
here.
I just can't.
Nah. I see. There are certain games I don't care. I'll drop whatever the fuck I'm playing. Whenever Monster Hunter drops, hopefully it's not in the middle of all the bullshit. But whenever Monster Hunter drops, sorry. Other games better move out the way. Like they better start delaying all that other shit, cause it's gonna be a problem.
I don't disagree with you at all, but it's just kind of like,
Like-
man.
Whatever comes out, what they
Man.
say when it says it's gonna be March or something like that. They said it's gonna drop. Follow. What did the article say? Where they were like, "Oh yeah, we're releasing a game next year that we know." They said it was like March or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah, by March
Yeah.
that they know will sell millions. Like it wasn't like,
Yeah.
hey, mine. It was like,
So, those motherfuckers, whoever's around that time, they better get the fuck out the way.
Animusha.
Like, right? I mean, the only ones that are gonna, I mean, that doesn't count. It's them. That's Capcom too. Like,
Yeah. What was
no
it?
way in
What
hell.
was it before the last state of play that I said they show? Oh, the last Capcom fucking presentation showcase, and I said, yeah, they're gonna show off Omnimusha. And they showed off that Goddess game, and everyone was like,
Yeah,
we're
and I
about
was
to,
like,
they was about to
man.
ban me real quick. I'm about to be like, man, fuck this guy.
I almost thought it was when they started it, but I was like, whatever. Like that game looks fire though. Hopefully we see
That
more
looks
of that at
good.
TGS.
I want to see more of that for sure. Yeah, TGS is prime for that.
Where are they getting Monster Hunter TGS? Wait, so what did Capcom say exactly about next week? What did they say?
well,
There's gonna be another trailer for the Resident Evil content, I think.
No, they
Yeah.
said they said something else, right? They said like, oh yeah, we got something special or whatever. What did they say exactly?
no, they didn't say anything on that.
Oh, I thought they said something. God damn it.
Capcom's got a lot going on right now, especially like, cause I don't know if you guys been peeped the Apple with the iPhone 15
Oh
announcement.
yeah, RE4 on
Yeah,
They
RE4
got,
Yeah.
and
RE4
and Village
and Village running
got-
on
yeah, both
the
of them.
new iPhones with the new
Yeah,
chips that
crazy.
they have in them.
that's sick.
Yeah, mobile gaming is definitely taking its step up in what they're able to do. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
they said that Village is going to be running at like 30 FPS, I believe, but still,
I mean, that
being
doesn't
able to
matter.
play
That's
the game in the
ridiculous.
palm of your hand is kind of crazy. Like if as long as it runs better than that cloud version.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a cloud version. Though. Like the game, phones
Yeah.
nowadays are too good for that. Like, come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
bro. Our phones are literally like, my phone is 10 times more powerful than a goddamn Switch. So I mean, if the Switch can run half of this shit, there's no reason why a phone can't. Like, if a Switch can run The Witcher 3, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
I don't know. Like, Capcom is in like this position where it's like I feel like I'm waiting for them to fuck up again. You know what I mean? Like it's like they're doing everything right now, and it's like fuck, bro. Like,
We've seen
but
this
in the
all
back of my
before.
head, yeah, exactly. Like in the back of my head, I'm like, what game is it gonna be? Which one? What are they gonna fuck up next? Like, I don't know, because it's like this big ass. It's like it's always a cycle for like Japanese devs, right? It's always a cycle where they have that moment where they're on top, they can't do no wrong. They can do no wrong, right?
Mhm.
And then their heads get big as fuck. They fuck up, they get humbled, and then it just repeats. Like
It's
they
gonna be
get
Remember
humbled.
Me Too.
Oh my, that game ain't. Hopefully that never
Jesus.
comes out. I would love it if it's good. I'd love it, but hopefully that never happens because yikes. I love the Capcom that makes new shit, like takes risks, new IPs, like that new game that they showed. I didn't expect that. Like I'm expecting from Capcom right now. All I'm expecting is RE, Monster Hunter, and Street Fighter. That's all I'm expecting. I didn't expect fucking whatever that new game was.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
But to be fair, right? I was just saying this about Square. Like, it sucks when you take risks and they just don't work, right?
Yeah.
Like Forspoken looked cool. They put a lot of money into that shit, flopped. Babylon's Fall, that shit was doomed from the start. What else? Foam Stars game, like that game, like that. I want that game to be good. I want it to do good, right? But I'm pretty sure it's not.
Avengers.
Yeah, Avengers, like they were taking risks. They're doing shit. So it's like I can't even be mad at them, right? But it's like, man, it sucks when you take risks like that. It just doesn't pay off. So it just reminds me of old Capcom, like 2010, 2011, 2012 Capcom, right? Where they were just putting shit out. They banked on Lost Planet. Did all right. They were doing a bunch of new shit. Asura's Wrath, right?
Mhm.
What else? It was a lot of stuff. Bionic Commando, Strider.
Rearmed.
Strider.
Yeah.
Oh, the
They were
Strider
doing a
was
lot
good
of
one.
stuff, man.
Yeah.
Deep down.
Deep down, I'm
Like-
still waiting for that.
I kind of wish that game came out. It looks
Right?
good.
That game looked godlike, but it was. I guess that shit never existed in the first place.
And then Deep Down was
Like-
just the early tech demos of the RE
Dead
engine
ass.
they were building, bro. Like that's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with accepting that just led us to all this greatness that the RE engine
Being a
is
game dev
fucking-
must suck,
Yeah.
and then being a post Baldur's Gate 3 game dev must suck.
Oh.
Like, cause man, you know what I thought the other day? So I played. In the meantime, I played Armored Core, right? I've been playing Starfield, right? What else? What the fuck? I've been doing a lot of random shit, and it's like spent $70 for Baldur's Gate 3, and you get all that. But you can also spend $70 on a game like Armored Core, which I'm not. This is not to discredit Armored Core in any way. I love the game, right? But
Mhm,
you can spend $60 on a game like Armored Core, $70 or whatever. You can spend $70 on a game like I'm trying to think, like, what's another example? You know, your typical $70, $60 game, right? And it'd be nowhere near the amount of content you get from like Baldur's Gate 3. So it
Mhm.
kind of puts into perspective, like, remember that discussion about how every game should not be the same price? Like
Yeah.
every game, just because it has this name or just because it's whatever, it should not be $70. And Baldur's Gate 3 kind of proves that, bro. Because if you think, me personally, I don't know about y'all, but me personally, for a game like that, I'd spend $120 fucking dollars for it. Like, I'd spend. Remember how people were like, "Man, GTA 6
Hold
is
up.
gonna be 150."
Don't let.
right?
Yeah, I was
No, yeah,
literally
shut up.
about
No,
to
no,
bring
no.
that.
Look, I'm not. I don't
Look, don't let
don't
don't let
Like,
Rockstar
like,
fucking hear what you're saying right
let me
now,
look
bro.
left. Let me look
Like,
right.
just
Make sure
because-
there's no fly on the wall, so nobody hears me saying this
Oh
shit.
my god, it's
But-
too late. It's already out
But-
on the internet. It's all your fault. God
But,
damn it.
but let's be real though. Like realistically.
Yeah,
they said
realistically,
GTA
it,
6
mm-hmm,
would be $150, right? And if I look back at the full package of GTA 5, GTA Online, all of that,
hmm
that's not too far fetched. Like 150 for that, I wouldn't be mad, right? Obviously,
Well-
since we're used to paying $70, of course we'd be like, man, what the fuck? But like, if the game like that was 150, if a game like Baldur's Gate 3 is 150, right? A game that you know you're gonna be spending hundreds of fucking hours in, again. Shit, I spent how much money have I spent on FF14 sub for like the past 10 years? I don't even fucking know, right?
I mean,
But,
we're
like-
already paying $100 technically. Like
Yeah, true.
how rarely are people buying games at 70? Most of the time, we're buying the games with the
A
whole.
lot of single player
Here's the
games, I just
pre-order
buy- I
bonus
buy
and
the base.
discover. You know, yeah.
Unless
it
it's a
depends.
multiplayer game that gives early access, I'm not spending $100.
Yeah.
But like to be fair, we play games on PC. We don't have to spend $100. You don't even gotta
Yeah,
spend
we
full
don't have
price
to spend
anymore.
100, bro. Most
like-
of the time, I just got a
See,
Mortal Kombat $100 edition for
Yeah,
$70. Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah.
You know?
Yo, CDkeys.com sponsorship.
You
But
know,
like,
hey, we got sponsorship.
Um,
Can we get sponsorship? Kingwin, whatever out there,
Right?
you know.
But
Yo,
like, I would spend that kind of money on a game like that. And it kind of makes me think like, is Armored Core worth $70?
well,
You know what I mean? It's Starfield, I guess, could be worth $70, right?
Well,
But potentially though, potentially any
That-
game could be a $70
You're right.
game
You're
if
right.
you
Yeah,
you know.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're
Because
right.
I could play
Because-
Armored Core for like 300 hours and be like,
same.
you know,
You're right.
it was worth it for me. Like it just really
But
depends on who that game is made
does
for.
Armored Core have 300 hours worth of content, or are you making that 300 hours
Very
worth
true.
of content out of it? Like Baldur's Gate 3 has that amount. Like you can play that game a billion times and see different shit every single time, right?
Yeah.
So that's the content already being there. Like
Yeah, so there's like two different kind of like equations because we're talking about like how much is a game worth based on how much it offers and then how much enjoyment you're getting out of it too, right? Because like look
Like
at
me as a
Marvel
kid.
Snap,
yeah,
bro.
true.
Marvel
Yeah, but
Snap. I've
that's
spent
different.
more in Marvel
Like,
Snap than I have in any
That's
other
different.
game
That's
I've
not the
ever
same
spent.
because you don't have to pay to get. So you don't have to pay into that game.
I don't.
Like
You
that's
don't.
different. Like
Yeah.
you have the option to spend money on the game.
Mhm.
That's different than having to buy a game for $70 just to play the game. That's different. Like,
Yeah.
but that's like me as a kid, right? If I saw Sonic 3 and that shit was $70, I would have been like, I don't care. I love this game. It's the best game ever. I played this game
Yeah.
80 million times. I still play the game to this day, over and over and over again, right? So that was definitely worth $70, right? But like, I don't know. It's just something to think about. Like Baldur's Gate games that are coming out now after Baldur's Gate 3, it's like Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna forever be an anomaly because we're never gonna get a game like this again.
No. Well, that and also the microtransactions, like game studios that rely on all this and all the executives are fucking pissed off about this game because of everything that it offers.
shows how much value you can get from shit when the devs actually give a fuck about making their game, right? Like you have all these corporate, you have like,
And the executives not stopping them, right?
yeah, exactly. The executive's not coming and knocking on your door and saying, does your game have microtransactions? If it doesn't add them, like, does your game have a battle pass? If it doesn't add it, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, what fucking, something just happened the other day. Apparently Square added some costume to the FF14, like Cash Shop or whatever, and people were mad because, there's a version of that costume that's already in the game that you can get for free or some shit like that. It's just slightly different, and they just added that shit to the Cash Shop. People were mad because it's like, this is the only game right now, not the only game, obviously. This, I think, WoW, I don't know what WoW's monetization type of shit is, but this is one of the only games where we're still getting godlike content. Yeah, it's a paid sub, but still, like, there's no battle pass. There's no like game-changing microtransactions where you could, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing like crazy in the game. And when they start doing stuff like that, it's kind of scary because it's like, you teetering on the edge, right? But Baldur's Gate 3, no fucking microtrans. Well, I'm pretty sure there's DLC, right? It was pre-order DLC or something like that, right? But that was just cosmetic shit. Like,
Yeah, cosmetics and things they added, but also just more so, I think it more so had to deal with the time to release for console early access that PC had. So it was just like, well, PS5 gets a deluxe edition.
Can we talk about that really quick? Can we talk about the fact that this game is also not a corporate, this is not a publicly traded company, right? This is not like so the fact that they were able to put out a PS5 port of a game, and the game, they said the game runs at what? It's basically PC Ultra settings,
It's
right?
PC Ultra settings, no issues.
No issues. What the fuck? What are other devs doing, bro?
I think that's the most important aspect of it because this game dropped in early access on PC and they've been working on it, tweaking and improve it for its official release that came out. They moved it up a month because they didn't want to compete with Starfield,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
like, they moved the game. What they moving? What is that considered? Moving forward or moving it back?
They moved it up. No, they moved it up.
Yeah,
they
moved
pushed
it up.
They said we want people to enjoy our game because we know that when Starfield comes out, they're going to be playing that.
They were that
And
confident. Like, bro, I don't know what the fuck. Come on, man. Like these guys are. I don't know. I
yeah,
want to say people need to give these guys somebody give these guys some more money, but I don't want that because I don't want these motherfuckers to be like the rest of these fucking corporation, EA, and all this other bullshit. It's like, man,
I think they're good where they're at, and any more funding and then stuff like that leads to
D&D has enough
expansion,
money.
which leads to things just being
oh no, they're definitely gonna
diluted. You
expand.
know what I mean?
They're definitely
Of
gonna
course,
expand
but
after
then that means that
Like-
the core team is then you're adding on people, and it's just not the same, right?
You know what
it's
you gotta?
just-
I know I didn't think about how big the D&D is already, right? And the fact that community, I feel like they would just dogpile on top of this game if it was not anywhere near perfect. Like,
Yeah.
So I feel like that's all they need is they got that D&D money. Like, they got that D&D
Yeah.
money.
Well, we'll definitely be still talking about this game, especially when we get close to the end of the year. So,
Yeah, right.
I mean, there's so many games.
The
that
game
are
is game of the
out,
year,
right?
The game is game of the year.
There's so many games that are out. There's so many games that are coming out, and it's just the game of the year discussion. Importantly,
I
is going to
hate
be
game
an
of the
interesting
years.
one.
I hate the game of the year discussion when it's like an obvious answer. I hate that. It's so boring to me. But
but
like-
it's so crazy. Well, what's crazy about this is that we can't talk about it right now. But well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
no,
game
we
of
gotta
the
say
year.
it. We gotta
It's,
say it.
save the content.
it's
Save
yeah,
the
it's very subjective, right? Like the thing is, like, what
not
was
subjective- it's not
your
subjective at
game
all.
of the year?
It's
you
not
know?
subjective at all. And bruh, it's not subjective at all this year. It wasn't subjective at all last year either. Like, there are games that come out and they are monumental. There's no way this game is not game of the year. What else is?
Depends if that's
Exactly.
what. It depends if that's not the game for you though, because it could be not
No,
my
it does
game
not.
of the
I'm
year.
not talking about personal.
I'm talking
shit.
about
I'm
personal
about-
game of the year. Yeah, that's what I
Bruh,
mean. Like,
we're talking about the Game Awards. We're talking about that shit. Like, it's good. I'm talking about that. Like,
if we're talking about the actual
commercially,
award,
like
then
this is game
yeah.
of the year. Like, whether you like, you can hate. Look, I could have not liked this game, but looking at what it does and looking at how it changes things, there's no way I could deny that this is game of the year. Like,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Like, this could not be my game of the year. But so, like, objectively looking at it, come on, really? Like, unless you live under a rock or some shit.
there's
like,
a lot of
come on,
people
bro.
who live under rocks.
Exactly. And I'm not talking
Yeah.
about those dumbass motherfuckers. I'm not talking about those people. Talking like, if, like, come on. There was no, like, that was like last year, right? There was no way you were arguing that Elden Ring wasn't going to get game of the year. There was no way. Like, was there? Am I bugging? Okay, I'm not bugging. Good. Like,
I don't know. The God of War was pretty close to me.
look, I get that, but
To
I'm
me, it was,
saying
you know
that's
what I
God
mean,
of
though.
War is God of War was this year's Tears of the Kingdom. It's more of a game we already had. It didn't do much to push anything forward.
Mhm,
It didn't do much in terms of like, okay, games after this are going to be different, right? It didn't do any of that. Elden Ring
Yeah.
did. Elden Ring's formula basically changed Zelda. Zelda got pushed back a year because of that shit. And they added a lot of shit that feels like mini Elden Ring like influences. So, I mean, that game influenced, Elden Ring influenced a lot. There's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of games like that. Open world games are going to be different. You saw how the devs were reacting to it last year. The fucking Horizon devs being pissed and fucking
Oh my
stupid.
God.
Ubisoft going out of their way to make themselves look even worse. Like, when you
Same way
do
devs
like
are trying to
Baldur's
react
Gate,
this year too.
Baldur's Gate,
where it's like,
exactly. Baldur's Gate is doing the same shit because the devs are mad because a game is pushing the boundary, right? A game is pushing
Well,
things
the
forward.
executives are
Like-
man. Right.
Look, the devs are mad too because now you have to think about it, right?
Well, the
Baldur's Gate 3
perspective,
comes
right?
out-
The
exactly.
expectation.
Now
Right.
we look at Schumer like, why don't you do this? Why weren't you doing that? Or when their next game, like when Dragon Age comes out, right? You already fucking know the direct comparison is
Oh
going to be this
my
game.
God. Yep.
Like,
Oh man, and there's the thing
So-
we forgot to talk about. So, look, real quick because I don't want to make it a whole thing, but
Mhm.
yeah, Bioware lost a lot of employees. So anyone looking forward to those games, I don't know.
yeah, Bioware lost a lot of employees that ironically helped develop previous Baldur's Gate games and other shit, right? So how do you fire? These motherfuckers are retarded. I don't understand what goes on in these places, but
EA,
I don't know, bro.
man. EA has
Like-
been known for weren't they known as like the worst company for
Yeah, they were definitely the worst company in
multiple
America
years
for,
in a
for-
row?
Yeah, yep.
Several years.
Yep.
Are they? Who's the worst company
But
now?
the weird part, probably Ubisoft. Like,
Probably so.
like the weirdest shit to me is that right now they're not as bad. Like, there's a lot of EA stuff, a lot of EA published stuff that's been pretty good lately. Like,
I think they're a
obviously
mixed
they
bag.
still-
They've improved where they could, but
being a mixed bag is better than where they were before. Where everything was shit.
no, absolutely. I
Like-
don't disagree. I'm just
Um,
they're not
like-
in the clear.
I don't know. Did EA, right? Like, they fired the Baldur's Gate. Well, obviously they didn't purposely fire them because they were Baldur's Gate 3 devs, but they just laid off some of these people, right? That
Mm-hmm.
ironically worked on these games previously. And you have a new Dragon Age game coming out. You have a new Dragon Age game coming out that's going to directly compete with this game. You know, when that shit drops, people are gonna be like, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 was better. Or whatever the fuck. You know it's gonna happen. So why would you even, like, what the fuck? Hello? So
Mhm.
those people,
don't-
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope that the people that got laid off, I hope that these motherfuckers, I hope Larian was like, hey, you guys want to come over here? Like, I hope that's what happened. I really do. Because that would be so perfect.
Find their true home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Because they were previous devs, right? So why not? Like, I really hope that's
Yeah.
what happened. I really hope that's what happened.
Yeah, you know,
Like-
it's executives make all kind of wacko decisions.
Yeah,
Speaking of which,
it's a lot of gatekeepy stuff that goes on. Like, they probably like, you don't want those guys back here. Like, who knows?
yeah. Speaking of which, whoever was in charge of the game engine, was it Origin? What
Unity?
What is that?
Unity.
Oh, I'll tell
Unity.
you exactly who
you-
was in charge of the game engine.
Oh
for
yeah,
Unity.
why don't you enlighten us about the situation?
The current CEO of Unity is actually the former CEO of EA. That's the link
All right,
between
well,
the
that says
issues.
enough.
But so
That
what
says
happened
enough.
with Unity is that they announced that they were increasing, increasing costs of their engine use for game installs, for
They were basically adding the
DLC,
Unity
for
tax.
yeah,
Like,
basically adding a tax because they felt they weren't getting paid enough for things that their game is getting used for.
No, you know exactly. No, like, word it differently. It has to be worded as malicious as it was. Like, they.
Does anybody have the exact wording? Actually, I would love to read the statement.
No, I don't know. I don't even mean the exact wording. I mean, like, obviously you have the corporate, like, they got to make it seem like whatever. But listen, they were tight that some of these games were making astronomical amounts of money, and they weren't seeing any of it. So they're greedy as they're greedy as fuck, and they're like, okay, these guys are making money. Let's get some of that money in our back pocket too. Like, all I heard, bro, as I read that, all I heard was this is all I heard was hands rubbing together. That's all I heard. Like,
Birdman hands.
the Birdman hands rubbing together because they just wanted all that money that people were making in their back pocket. You know what that reminds
Right.
me of? That's like the biggest like hater mentality ever, right? Oh, if they eat, I gotta eat too. Like, I hate that. That was
Right.
the dumbest thing they could have ever done.
Right. And then to add to all that, right? The original process, for those who are not familiar with game development, right? In order to make a game, you use the engine to make a game, right? Most companies don't own their own engine, so they usually get use a different engine, and they have to pay huge license fees to be able to develop their game on these engines. So when Unity, wait, is it Unity?
Yes.
Yeah,
Unity.
when Unity is proposing all these changes to, like, charge people per install, part of this is applying to every single game that's out there already, when they already
Yep.
made an initial deal with them initially.
Mhm.
So they're trying to,
This could be like a little random game that just happened. Like, they said it applies to, like, demos, like hella random indie games. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Unity
so-
was that engine that was the alternative to Unreal, right? Where they had, like, I forgot what the benefits of it was, but it was more user friendly. There was a whole bunch of, like, things going back and forth between Unreal, and it was less expensive, I think, too, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, go ahead, continue. But I just, like, what the fuck?
So Unity just proposed all these bogus changes, like, the beginning of this week, and game devs
That shit was
literally went to shit on Twitter. Like,
That
it
shit was
was
godlike.
literally just
I loved
guns going out because they like it was like they put this out and like this is how it's gonna be, and then everyone was like, bro, I will delete my game.
What was the first thing I said? I literally said, I was like, let's see how long it takes for them to roll that back. That was the first thing I said.
Yeah,
because I was like, there's no way. That's one of those things. Remember, I always bring this up about how like these companies, these devs will literally just toss out something, and if no one complains, they'll run with it. Even if it's bullshit, if no one says anything, or if no one notices, they'll run with it, right? But if people complain, oh shit, we didn't mean it like that. Yes, you did. The only reason why you're reeling it back is because people complained about it and people got in your ass. They were like, that's crazy to me that they thought this was gonna work. That's the wildest part. Somewhere in these people's heads, they thought this was gonna actually work out the way they thought it would. What?
Well, here's the thing: when you work in the corporate ladder and you're a CEO of EA previously, apparently you live in your own little bubble, and you don't know how these little small changes affect. Because
I pray I'm never like that if I ever get rich, bro. I really do hope I'm never like that.
Especially a lot of other ones. That's why you gotta have people who check you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you get to that level,
to me.
like when you get to that level of kind of success and fame, and like shit doesn't seem real to you, or you can't trust people relationships, it's always good to have someone who knew you before. You know what I mean?
Like how much more do you need? How much more do you need when everyone I know loves developing for you on Unity. They like Unity does like I'm like a lot of these random like little indie games and shit that these little low budget games are on Unity. Cause like, and I'm like, why? I don't know, bro. I just really found it funny, the stuff that I was seeing from some of these devs. They were saying some wild shit, bro. And I think it was less than 24 hours that they went and they went back on it. With like, oh yeah, well we're gonna do this or whatever. I'm like, I don't know, man. What an easy way to get people to just drop your shit altogether. Like, and you know the cool part about when things like this happen is that put the bug in somebody else's ear, so that they can start developing their own engines so that they can compete with Unity. Because Unity was the thing that they wanted to compete against like Unreal, not compete, but like they wanted to be the alternative to Unreal, right? So now they probably put the bug in somebody's head like, oh, these guys are fucking pieces of shit. I'm gonna make my own shit now too.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Remember, I think we were talking about Square Enix and we talked about Forspoken. And remember I said some stupid shit like, why did Square like make this engine like it's like not good and this and that and blah blah blah. You want to know why they tried making that engine? To avoid bullshit like this. That's
true.
Why.
True.
You know,
very true. Very fucking true.
The thing is, it's just making an engine is very hard. Like, and so unless it's
to be fair, that engine. I think the only reason they used that engine for Forspoken was because it was just a remnant of FF15. Like that engine,
I'm just using that as an example. Yeah. But they spent tons of money.
They spent a lot of money. They're never gonna get their money back. That shit put them in a hole.
Yep.
Like that shit is crazy. That whole Luminous engine. I mean, to be fair, the Luminous engine is actually not bad. It's just
just not efficient.
These devs are just stupid.
Yeah. Or
I mean, call them stupid. I call them stupid, like, because Forspoken, ironically, runs really well when it got patched. Like, so that game is a bad example, I feel like, because the game needed more time, right?
Yeah, I'm just talking about like at the time and when I brought up engines in the first place, because I was just like, why?
The whole point is
but the whole point of this
is so good for Capcom, right? Because they don't have to do shit.
Yeah, and so now they're facing the long-term investment on that engine, right? Capcom is, right? Because they built it their own. They're not beholden to anyone, right? They make pure profit over their game, right? So not only what Unity just pulled, like a bullshit to like the big ones, it's also to all these little indie developers who don't own a lot of money like that to and then imagine having to pay because someone installed a demo like 10,000 times to troll you. Like,
think about it this way, right? This is one of those things where if this is how Unity came out the gate, sure. But to impose something like this years later, just because you're mad that you're not seeing like profit off of these games that are like blowing up past your expectations, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, he needs another yacht, bro. He needs it.
Well, we're talking about the same guy who once proposed or said that devs were foolish for not charging for things in their games, and once proposed that they could charge for people to reload their guns in Battlefield.
What the hell? Who? What?
Yes,
Repeat
this
that?
is the former
Yep.
EA CEO. He was
What did
on.
you say?
He said that devs were idiots for not charging for certain things in their games, and that there was an idea proposed that they charge for reloading clips in Battlefield.
Okay.
Let's fucking bring
What
up
kind
the
of coke
exact
is he
quote.
on? You know what's weird about this though? Here's what I will say. In his defense, which is very hard to do, right? Let's say games were new. Let's say we weren't playing games prior to 2010. Before, not even 2010, 2007, before DLC, right? If games that were new, that's all we would see is these devs and these companies like just charging for everything because they could get away with it because it's a new thing, right? And we'd all eat it up because we wouldn't know better. The only reason why they don't do this is because we know better and people are gonna fight them on it, right? So you best believe if they could charge for some of that shit and get away with it, everybody would do it. So I'm not gonna shit on him solely on him, right? For saying that, because I guarantee you all these devs would do that shit if they could get away with it. So it's just that EA's these motherfuckers are just so dumb that they'll put it out there. They'll just say it in front of everybody anyway. Like, but all these motherfuckers would do that.
Yeah.
I would do it. If I could charge you for fucking using a different gun in the game, I'd do it every fucking time.
Here's a quote.
Oh,
Here's a quote. When you're 6 hours into playing Battlefield and you run out of ammo in your clip, and we ask you for $1 to reload, you're not really that price sensitive at that point in time.
I mean, are you? Is he wrong? Because look at mobile games. Well, look at how mobile games used to be. Right? Like, they do that shit all the time.
Mobile games definitely do that. Is an absolutely different market, but I will tell you, it's gonna
It
depend
can
on
be
the
a different
player.
market.
It's gonna depend on the player, because when I see that mobile ad that's like to continue, you know what I
Hella people
mean,
do it.
press here,
Hella people do
I'm
it.
out. I closed the app.
Yeah, you
If
can be
that were
out,
to
but
happen,
millions of people don't close the app though. Like,
It's true.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't say it's a different audience because that could have easily been how it is for us. But because think about it, the only reason this is a different audience because it was a different time. Mobile games mobile games blew up with that in mind, right? People already expected that. Like Candy Crush had shit like that. A lot of games had stuff like that, right? There's a lot of like a lot of those farming simulators had shit like that already, right? So they're used to that. Like, it's not like mobile games have been without that for so long that when they introduce it, people are mad. It's been there. That's already been there. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of like proved my point. Like, if games and like were relatively new and that's how they were introduced to us, we wouldn't have a problem with it. Well, obviously it'd be a way more expensive hobby than it is already, right? But we wouldn't have an issue with it. We'd be like, oh, okay, here's $1. I need $1 in to keep playing, right? We did that shit in the arcades, right? Here's another, I can't keep playing, put another quarter in, blah blah blah. Like, if they could get away, bro, listen, it's the same shit. The only reason why they don't do it is because games have been around for what, 30 years now? Over 30 years now? And DLC and all these other random shits and microtransactions are still relatively new. So it's hard to get away with certain things when people are gonna push back on you right now. Like,
so interesting note. So before he made this stupid ass decision, he apparently sold a lot of his shares in Unity before announcing all this.
so this guy is basically Don Matrick. So what he's doing, so basically what this guy is doing is he's lighting all the fuses and just blowing everything up before he's out.
And then
Like,
he's leaving.
he's
Yup.
out before he blows it up. Yeah.
Yep. So that's Don Matrick. He's like, let me just light Microsoft ablaze and then dip out. Like, great. Wonderful.
Jesus.
Excellent.
Yeah. And
Great.
basically a bunch of indie developers, and I'm looking this up all right now, like Kenny, Junkfish, like all these devs are basically making an official statement on all this. They are not fucking around.
We
Like,
live in an age where people have alternatives. People are not gonna deal with shit like that, bro. Like,
No.
so I don't understand why
They're pulling their
that's a
games.
they have to be in a bubble. Like you said, they have to. These people have to be living in a bubble because you should know as soon as you say something like that, people are gonna be like, nah, bruh, nah, like we out of here. People are too. Let me not say too, but people are becoming way more like aware of like one options, two like I guess people. I don't want to say people are more self-respecting because you can argue that, right? But like a lot of these people know that they don't have to be treated like shit, so they're not gonna put up with it. Like,
Yo, one
still got a
game
bunch of
company,
sheep, but still,
it's like these development statements that Unity are getting too long, and it said one just left. Unity can get fucked.
yep, bro. Like, come on, man.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right?
It
Yo.
starts becoming a symbiotic relationship, right? Because Unity needs these people to use their engine to make money, right?
Yes.
So, and then obviously the devs need an engine to use, but Unity isn't the only thing they can use. That's the
Right.
thing. So that's the problem.
Oh, and according to Jason Schreier, apparently Unity canceled a town hall this morning and closed 2 offices due to what CEO John.
Yeah, they were getting death threats. Yeah,
Oh
they were getting death threats
my
and shit.
god,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep. You see what happens when you fuck people over, bro? Like, like, come on, bro. They were getting death threats. Like, that's crazy.
Wow, there's even game developers going so far like, don't download my games, just don't.
That guy was probably oh, you saw the game Cult of the Lamb. The Cult of the Lamb devs were like,
Yeah, they said they were
come
gonna
January
pull it.
1st, or you better buy your game now because we're deleting it. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
I
and
mean,
that
they
game is
got
godlike. That's
but
a
they
good ass
gotta-
game. So that's
they got-
sad. Like,
not only that, Darkest Dungeon 2, they made a similar statement.
oh
something
my
like
god,
that.
yeah, that's sad because this is a lot of dope ass games.
These are good games.
Yeah,
right?
so all these indie, like, they're not messing around. They're just like, look, well,
That's
then
fire.
GG's.
I love seeing stuff like that. I love watching people just rise up against bullshit.
Yeah,
outta
Ironically,
here.
the poor decision has brought unity to the devs.
Right? Like, that's all you gotta do is make one mistake. GG. I just picture this guy waking up that morning thinking this is a good idea, seeing the money and imagining all the money he about to make, and then the next day he's getting death threats. So he's like in a
Mr.
bunker somewhere,
Krabs,
like, oh my God.
money.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
Like
You
the
know what
shit
they
where he
say?
was
There
like-
is no
the shit
such
was
thing
like-
as an ethical billionaire, right?
Yeah, right. What was that shit where he was like, Mr. Krabs was like digging out a grave. He was like, am I gonna defile this grave for money? Of course I am. Like, that shit was retarded. Like, that's exactly what these people are doing. And it's like, I just imagine he was probably like smiling, like, yeah, I'm about to make so much money. The next day he's getting death threats, and he's probably like, oh my God, what the fuck I do? Like, I
It's
don't
like,
know.
why are these nerds overreacting?
I doubt he even cares. If he
Oh.
sold all his shares and shit, he's
Yeah.
good. He's out. Like,
Well, he
sold
sold a
shit.
good
He's outta
majority
here.
of sales. He can't sell all of them because then it'd be kind of insider trading.
he said,
So-
I'm about to make a shitty decision, so let me
But-
pull out some of this money
but-
now.
yep.
Just for information, you know how much money he makes with his salary?
Don't wanna know.
$22 million a year.
Wow.
One of the highest paid gaming CEOs.
I mean, you guys could
course.
pay me that much to make shitty decisions too, you know?
When you
That's
make
what
an
I'm
engine-
saying, bro. And I actually make decent decisions. I bet I know better than what this guy does.
Everyone makes decent decisions until they don't, right? But there's a difference between a bad decision and just straight up just
This
out of
is
touch.
suicide. This
Like-
is, yeah.
she's just completely like just out of touch with shit like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
this guy's been out of touch for years, to be honest.
Clearly, yeah. It's a shame though, because there's always something good. It always starts off with something good. Like, whatever.
You
Oh,
can't
man.
keep getting away with this.
Right? Like,
Oh, no.
you know what was funny, man? I remember back in the day, like Nintendo, everyone always shouting. We spoke about this earlier, but people always shit on Nintendo, right? Because they're like, man, Nintendo's so greedy. They always give us the same shit over and over again, and we just keep buying it, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, we keep buying it because they're good. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like we keep buying it. It's not like COD, right? Where I'm not gonna lie to you, I like COD, I enjoy COD, but I only enjoy it because it's nostalgic. It's something I can do when I don't feel like doing anything else. right? It's just fun to just shit on it, to just talk shit on the game, whatever, have fun. I don't even think I like COD. I like the experience of COD, of like just talking shit to people or whatever. I could do that shit on any other game, but it's more prevalent on COD because everybody goes to COD to talk shit. So it's like, but to me, I don't think COD is good every year. Every time Nintendo makes a new game, it's usually fucking good, right? Yeah. It's like 2K. It's like, bruh, 2K been the same damn game for the past decade and a half, as far as I'm concerned, right? Madden, same thing. All these sports games, same shit. And I'm like, why y'all not complaining about them? Why y'all not saying they greedy for giving y'all the same shit every time? Remember the Switch port of FIFA or some shit like that, where they gave people like the previous year's version of the game but labeled it something else? Like, that's not greedy, but Nintendo is greedy for actually giving us good games every time. Come on, bro.
Well, things could be much worse. All right.
Listen.
But yeah.
Man, yeah. No,
That being said,
amount, yeah,
we're closing in on 2 hours strong. I mean, we could.
I mean, it was a lot to talk about.
But there was a lot to talk about this week, and we won't be recording next week because I will be away. But don't worry, guys. We will always have more to talk about, and there will always be more. We got episodes dropping on YouTube, but that's gonna do it for the listening portion. Well, I think probably we'll cut the stream soon anyway. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Again, just stay tuned. Peep the episodes coming out on YouTube. We'll have another episode recorded in 2 weeks. 2 honey packets.
2 honey packets.
And we'll have much more games to gripe and talk about. Much more things, announcements coming in. So keep on listening in. And we'll see you guys then. And make sure you
rev up those fryers.